We're back again.
We
It's
are
episode
back.
3. It's episode 3. Hey, look at that. We didn't quit. We're
No,
still doing this,
yeah,
man. We're still doing it.
still rolling with it. So
Still rolling with it. Oh my goodness.
it's been cool.
Look at
I've
us
been
go.
I've been really excited and like I've been I feel like I've been paying more attention to gaming news now because of this.
Mm.
Like before,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if something happened, like I'd maybe hear about it from somebody else or whatever. But I'm spending more time actively like seeking out things to talk about now. So
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, welcome back to Region Coded, where it's two guys in their 30s who game, among other things, for their jobs.
yeah,
And we talk about gaming and gaming news and all that good stuff, eh? Oh, but hey, how's your week been? What have you been up to?
dude, I've been so busy. So my middle child, she just turned 7 the other day.
Ooh.
So a lot of stuff around that because birthday parties typically don't happen during the week because parents
Yeah.
are working and things of that nature. But like also, um, when you plan kids' birthdays, they're not always great for like the adults, right? Like it's
Right.
and so
Right,
it's
yeah.
like we're going to like take her like roller skating and stuff like that. But it's like
Mm.
so things like my parents and my wife's parents and stuff, we like took her out to dinner with them so that way like they could also, have some time with her because I'm pretty sure they don't want to just hang out at a roller skating rink. You know what I mean? Um,
Right, yeah, yeah, that makes
Especially
sense.
considering my wife's dad like just a couple weeks ago broke his hip when it was icy
Ooh.
outside, so he slipped,
Ooh.
got it, but he had surgery, everything's all good, and yeah, so we're yeah, so
Ouchies.
it's just been busy, man. Just been really busy. I'm also just doing a lot of yard work and fixing up my house to try to get it ready to sell because trying to move into a
Oh.
spot that's bigger. So,
Look at us. Both of us
yep,
have this adult money issue if we're both trying to sell our houses.
dude, it's so much. Like,
Oh man, it's so much. We were supposed to have someone come look today, and they didn't bloody show up. Like, they didn't turn up
yeah, it's the
yet
absolute
again. I
worst.
think it's like the third. I think it's like the third time in like 4 months that they haven't turned up, and it's so annoying when they don't.
Yeah, I mean,
Ugh.
it's just it's an awful thing, like trying to sell your house. Like they say, like it's one of the most stressful things you can do as an adult, and
Hmm.
I will fully stand by that. It really
Oh yeah,
is.
it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. But let's not talk about
No,
adult
no, no, no,
stuff.
not that.
Let's talk about gaming. What new games have you played this week?
So I have been playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, Black 2, however you want to phrase it.
Okay.
Um, I, as a kid, I was really enamored by the Ninja Gaiden series, and while I
Hmm.
had access to the games, I have this really bad habit of like starting things and not finishing it when it comes to games.
Right.
Like I'll
Yeah,
start a
yeah, yeah.
game, I'll get into it, and I'll develop a love for it, like the lore, the
Hmm.
aesthetic, whatever, and then something else will come along and take my attention away. And so, one thing about streaming that's helped somewhat is like I've finished certain games that like I probably would not have finished
Yeah.
without it. And so finished the first Ninja Gaiden and I'm playing the remake of the second one now. And honestly,
Nice.
I guess it's more of a remaster. But yeah, anyway, like I have been having a
Yeah,
great
this
time.
Ninja Gaiden Black. Is it Ninja Gaiden Black and Ninja Gaiden Black 2 are both remasters of the original two?
Yeah, to an extent. So it's a super long, confusing rabbit hole, but basically it's like Ninja Gaiden comes out, Ninja Gaiden
Yeah.
Black is like a more like definitive edition or whatever, and then like
Right.
there's Ninja Gaiden Sigma, which is like another version of Ninja Gaiden 1 with
Which only the Sigma males can play, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
it had like actually additional story and other things like that,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, so it just the Sigma game is the one that I played because it was what was in the Ninja Gaiden
Okay.
Master Collection. But when I tried to
Right.
play Sigma 2, and I've talked about this brief, so I'm not going to go in too in depth here, but when I tried to play Sigma 2, it felt neutered and it like was ruining my experience because it's like heavily censored. And
Oh,
so it
okay.
just didn't feel right. And I'm not the type of person
Hmm.
who needs like explosive gore or like, suggestive themes or whatever to
Yeah.
make a game enjoyable, but it's like you could just tell like there was
Hmm.
something missing and it was actually affecting my enjoyment of the series. So
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
actually went back and played like re-download or downloaded, sorry, Black 2 and then played up until the point I was playing Sigma 2 like off screen
Okay.
and then just picked back up with that because I was like, this is not
Interesting.
is not it. Like I just felt so bad playing
Ah,
it.
no, that makes sense. I've always wanted to try the Ninja Gaiden games, especially with the new one either coming out or it's just come out, one or the other.
Yeah, it came out
Um,
earlier this year. Or well,
okay, yeah,
not
I've wanted to
last year.
play them for a while. I wanted to play them for a while, but honestly, like, my backlog's big enough already, man.
I feel you.
Like, I've got, I think I counted the other day, and I think I got to like 180 or something games that I own that I've never played or never finished.
Right.
I was just there like, I can't add more to that list, man.
Yeah.
I can't add more. No, it's not happening.
I
Oh
mean,
goodness,
I
man.
definitely, if you've ever wanted to play it, it is still a game series I would totally recommend. I think it is.
Well, it's on Game Pass, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
And it is
yeah, yeah.
super fun. I mean, I know like it was originally heralded as like, like kind of like the Dark Souls of its time. Like it was really hard. Um,
I remember watching a video. Who was it? I think it was RPG Game. I've never really watched them. They're pretty big on YouTube.
yeah.
But like he was doing like a thing where like they'd looked on Reddit, they'd done voting, they'd done all kinds of things like what the hardest game on every single console was. And Ninja Gaiden got at least nominated like 5 times.
Right.
I think the Ninja Gaiden series, like as a whole, got nominated like 5, 6 times, and I think two of them won it for individual consoles because they're that hard.
Well, I know the first one was original Xbox, and then the second one
Yeah,
was 360.
I think it came out on other things as well
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
because I'm pretty sure it was talking about like PlayStation and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
PlayStation 3, they did the Sigma like remake or remaster or whatever, and they did 2
Yeah.
as well. So I actually
Yeah.
have them both on the Vita as well.
Well,
Super cool.
so cool, man. Two of the only people in the West who have
Right.
Vitas.
Uh,
Honestly. But I've been playing something this week that
okay.
honestly I can proudly say that I now own this game on every system, every modern gaming system that I own. I have it on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and now I have it on the Switch too because it was on like 70% off sale. I have Arcade
Oh
Paradise on the Switch
no!
too.
Oh no! Oh wait, you said it was on like a huge sale?
It's down from £16 to £3.51.
Well, I mean, I
Now,
I think I have to buy it at that point.
the DLC cost more,
Hey,
which
honestly,
if
I will
people,
play that
yeah,
game again.
people who've never played Arcade Paradise, Tyler and I will harp on about Arcade Paradise until the end of days
It's so good.
because it's so good. It's for those who don't know, it's basically it's got a story. There's an actual storyline
Yep.
as you go through, but it's basically an arcade management simulator where you've dropped out of college because your mum has died, if I remember right. Drop out of college because your mum has died, and your dad puts you in charge of one of his many businesses that he doesn't really care about anymore, which is like a rundown laundrette. And you have to basically you slowly, without him knowing, turn it into a video game arcade, and it's so good, man. Because like most management games and simulation games, when you play them, it's like think about like a trading card game sim and all that sort of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
You just sell the cards, maybe you open them and stuff like that, but like that's all it is. But with this game, I swear to God, they didn't need to go this hard, man.
No, they
They
didn't
didn't need to
at
go this
all.
hard. Every single arcade machine is playable,
Yep.
and not only is it playable, but there's a reason to play them because there's some side missions where patrons of your store will keep challenging you to beat their high score.
Yeah.
There's like goals for each arcade machine, and every time you achieve the goals, the amount of money that you earn on the machine increases.
Yeah, dude. They didn't. Each one is like a fully fleshed out
Yeah,
game. Like
it
it's
really
so
is. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so I've been doing a thing where I've been going through and I've been like making sure that I've like maxed out the earnings on every machine before I upgrade to the next
Right.
size of the arcade and that sort of thing. It's so good, man.
Yeah, it's a
So
great
so that's
game.
that's that's been my week.
I've spent so much time on it, and yeah,
I've
I
spent
I'll,
far too
I'll
much
play it
time on it.
again. I mean, it's
Yeah,
super fun. So yeah, knowing
yeah,
that it's on sale and it's like the equivalent of like $3 to $5, like
yeah,
I'm just gonna do it.
yeah. It's 100% worth
Yeah.
it. Absolutely 100% worth it. But I do have something that I want to discuss with you
Yeah.
before we go into the news. So we have today we have a few things. We have the news. We have some more questions from you guys. Thank you very much for continuing to give us questions.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we have the majority of this is probably going to be us talking about Pokemon Day predictions because
Yeah.
by the time we get to the next episode of the podcast, Pokemon Day will have happened.
Yeah.
I think it happens like a day or two before we'd be filming or something like that.
Yes.
Or is it the day that we
I
film?
think it might be the day
It's
that we
something
film
like that.
because it.
It might be the day that we film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to do predictions about that. But I have a question for you. Is this a hot take or is
Okay.
this valid?
Okay.
Right? I hate that Nintendo do not have their own version of achievements.
Oh,
I hate it
agreed.
because you agree.
Oh, yeah, valid,
Why?
valid. Well, so we've got trophies, we've got
Yeah.
achievements, even
Yeah.
Steam.
PlayStation have Steam have Steam achievements.
Yep.
PlayStation have trophies where you can get platinums and stuff. And so there's
Right.
loads of people who make a living out of being platinum hunters,
Yep.
right? And then Xbox have achievements,
Yeah.
but
Nintendo doesn't
Nintendo
have
nothing.
anything, which is
They have
interesting
nothing.
because like I think that they very easily could, and also like
Yeah,
they have their like coin system for their eShop, like
yeah,
platinum coins and things of that nature. So it doesn't even have to be anything crazy that you could buy
no,
like games or whatever, but it could be
no.
small things like profile pictures for your Switch or
Hmm.
anything like that, or skins for your home screen. Because it's also the
Yeah.
only console that I can think of like that you can't. PS5, I'm not sure about at this point. Like, but like that you can't put like a theme or anything on. It's just dark or light mode.
I don't know. I've not really looked into it. But you might be right. You might be right.
I don't know if they've changed it with
But
the Switch 2 or not. I haven't looked into it or whatever, but like I think for the longest time, like it's either just dark
yeah,
or light mode, and that's just it. Whereas like Xbox, you can have a theme or a wallpaper. You can use a screenshot as
hmm
a wallpaper or whatever. They have
yeah,
dynamic wallpapers. PlayStation, at least with the
yeah.
PS4, they also had like that going on and stuff.
Yeah, and I just, I mean, I hate it, man, because for me, one of the things that keeps me playing a game
Mm,
and makes me want to play it more is achievement hunting,
mhm.
right? Because otherwise, I tend to be the sort of person who I'll beat the game and then I'm done with it.
Same.
I'm just done with it, right? The only reason why I'll go back and play a game is it's two reasons. One, I loved it so much
Yeah.
that I go back and play it again, which things like that will tend to be Arcade Paradise, Pokemon, that kind of
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
right? But even then, Pokemon I shiny hunt and stuff like that, so I've still got a reason to go back to it,
Okay.
right? Or I'm achievement hunting
Yeah.
because I liked the game so much. I want to get the achievements in it. So like I achievement hunt it on Xbox. I've kind of started like trophy hunting on PlayStation.
Right.
But like there's so many Nintendo games. I'm like, oh, I'd like to play that again. And then my brain goes, yeah, but what's the point? You've done it already.
Yeah. No, I'm very similar in that regard where it's like I will play a game and then if I've already played it, like I really don't seem
Hmm.
to want to play it again. Like replay value
Yeah.
is almost not a thing for me unless there is
Hmm.
a reason like oh there's a like
Yep.
a different storyline that you can take or something like
Yeah.
that unless the game did like you said have like a very significant impact on me. So,
Yeah. That's the thing. Like I feel like achievements add so much replayability to a game.
yeah.
And yet Nintendo for whatever reason refused to add achievements. I don't even know what their reasoning is. I don't even know if they've given a reason.
Yeah, I don't.
I
I've
think
never really heard it discussed.
no, I've never really seen it as a thing. Like I don't actually know anybody who's ever really talked about it either. I'm sure people have, but
Yeah,
I've
I'm sure
never
it's been a
heard
topic.
someone. Yeah, but I like why just add them? They're not that difficult to add,
I,
surely.
yeah, I mean, I can't imagine they would be that difficult. But
Was
that's
it
interesting.
was it was it the 360 that was the originator of achievements?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
dude, my
So it's
dad
been
was
what?
so obsessed with them when they first dropped. Like, I
Yeah.
remember he went crazy, and his gamer score was like ridiculous.
Oh, absolutely. So the Xbox 360 came out in 2005. So achievements at bare minimum have been a thing since 2005. But like I remember all my friends like fighting to be the number one gamer score out of the friend list and that kind of thing.
Right.
And like even now, people who watch me because obviously like I play games and then I review the games and all that kind
Right.
of thing. people who watch my stuff who have like friended me on Xbox and stuff, there are people who are there going like, oh, I've got more achievements than due this month. I'm like, ah, sod you, like, like screw you, sort of thing. Like
Right.
I see one or two people overtake me on the achievements for the month. I'm like, oh, just you wait, I'm gonna get you. This is my job. I don't have to go anywhere.
Right. This is
Like,
what I do.
right,
No, that's
right,
great. And like that was kind of the whole point of them, though. You know what I mean? To
yeah,
encourage more gaming, to encourage more community, that
mm,
sort of thing. So to know that that's still going on, because I
yeah,
I don't necessarily like commit to that anymore, but
hmm,
like I will say that like to know that it's still happening makes me happy. That
yeah.
it's not like a lost thing.
I see your name appear a few times on the Gamer Score rankings because obviously we're friends on Xbox.
Mhm.
Like I see your name appear a few times on the rankings. Like maybe you'll be like number 10 or
Right.
something for the month or something like that. But like I actively have people in my Discord like prodding and poking me at the fact that they've overtaken me for achievements for the month
Yeah, I got to
and
keep it
stuff like
going
that.
then, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
great.
right,
Like I like the encouragement. I like the like friendly
yeah,
competition. I think that was kind of the whole point of having a gamer score on Xbox. So,
right. Right. So that's why I think it's weird that Nintendo don't do that, especially when they're. I'd argue Nintendo out of the three are the company who want to promote playing with friends more than the others. Like,
interesting.
surely they're more multiplayer focused than the other two.
I don't know, because like you got to think about
Think
like
about all their party games.
the party games, yeah, but like a lot of their RP or IPs, like The Legend of Zelda or like Mario Odyssey or Donkey Kong Bonanza.
But flip that, Smash Bros, Mario
Right,
Kart, Mario Tennis, like but even like the Olympics games that they do with Mario and all
right.
that kind of thing. Like, there's all those different games that they have that require you to play with people online,
Yeah,
but
no,
they don't
that's
have
true. But
achievements.
I will say that a lot of their like multiplayer stuff does also seem to be not necessarily online, but like couch co-op sort of
Mm,
stuff or like in-home multiplayer.
true,
Because like a lot of people
true.
play Mario Party in a room full of other people or like stuff like that. So it is interesting, but like I do
Mm.
see that perspective and yeah, I can agree with that.
So I have a follow-up question then as
Yeah.
well. To you, what is the worst kind of achievement?
Ooh. Um.
So you've got your typical one, like you get an achievement just for turning the game on.
Right.
Like there's that kind of thing. But what to you is the worst kind of achievement?
Honestly, an achievement for failing. That's not an
Oh, okay.
achievement.
One that makes fun of you for failing.
Right, like you've recognized that I've failed, like, but
Yeah.
like that's not an achievement. That just means that I didn't do well. You know what I mean? Like, what did I
Well, you've
achieve?
achieved failure.
Right.
You've achieved failure.
Why are we celebrating this?
To me, the worst kind of achievement is the difficulty achievements.
Yeah.
So like as someone who likes to achievement hunt, I don't like it when there's an achievement for each difficulty level.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of it. Just because some games I don't want to play on the hardest mode. Have you ever tried playing the original Call of Duty trilogy on the hardest difficulty?
I haven't, but I know that it is pretty
Yeah.
difficult.
They will destroy you. It
Right.
is so unbelievably unbalanced. Like there are some games that I just don't want to play on that level of difficulty.
Right.
But then like I know for the achievement hunting community and like trophy hunting community, I know one that people hate the most. To take a guess, what do you think is like the most hated kind of achievement in general for the achievement hunting community?
I'm not sure if it might be something dealing with like having to like do like stuff through multiplayer.
It's exactly what it is. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
multiplayer achievements.
Yeah.
Multiplayer achievements because it's all well and good when the game's new,
Yeah.
but when the game is old and you're going back to achievement hunt, like I'm trying to get all the achievements for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I'm really close,
Right.
but I probably will never get them all because like six of them are multiplayer based.
Yeah, that's kind of lame.
So
Like it
yeah,
hinges on other people playing the game. So you
yeah,
can't achieve it unless other people are also playing.
so annoying, man.
Yeah.
So annoying. But I mean, hey, maybe people listening or watching, maybe you guys can tell us what one do you think Nintendo should have achievements, and two, what's the worst kind of achievement for you guys, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see the argument for skill-based ones because that's an
Hmm.
achievement, right? Like you've
Yeah.
achieved that like skill or that ability, but I can't really see the argument for multiplayer ones.
Yeah. See, I like both the Star Wars Jedi games like Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survival
Mhm.
and Expedition 33 because all three of them do not have difficulty-based achievements.
Which is
You
cool.
can play all you can play all three on story mode and still get all the achievements.
Which is nice. I will say that
Yeah.
I see both sides of it, but I will say that I would like it better because like typically I'm not the type of guy who like picks up a game for the first time and just throws it on hard.
Hmm.
But I'm also not the type of
Yeah.
guy who likes replaying games for the sake of replaying it. So
But that's the problem I have with it. It's like if I've played a game on say normal mode,
yes,
and then I find out that there's a hard and a nightmare mode
yeah,
for the achievements, and they're going, oh, for God's sake, now I've got to play it on nightmare mode.
right.
There's also some games that won't do the stack unlock. So, like, if you're playing on like hard mode, it won't automatically unlock normal and easy modes achievements
Yeah,
if
I
you beat
don't
the
like
game.
that. Yeah, I like it if
No,
it's
I don't
where
like
it's
that.
like if you complete it on like hard or whatever in something
Yeah,
like that where like hard or
it unlocks
higher
all of
will
them.
unlock all the ones underneath it or
Yeah,
something. That's cool.
yeah, that I'm fine with. That I
Yeah.
get, but when they don't unlock, oh my God, that's so annoying.
No, because then it just
It's
forces you
so
to
annoying.
replay the game again. And honestly, if the game
Yeah.
is super long or whatever, like
Hmm.
it's not worth it to me.
Oh yeah, if it's a short game, then that's fine. I
Yeah.
don't mind about the difficulty thing. But if it's like a anywhere from like 15 hours
Right,
plus,
like a
becomes
30-hour
it.
game and it's
Yeah,
like I'm not doing this, bro.
oh, dude, can you imagine if like I don't know, like Final Fantasy or something had difficulty level achievements and
Yeah, that
stuff
would
like
be
that? Like, oh
ridiculous.
my God, such a pain, such a pain. But hey, enough of that.
Yeah.
You have told me we've got a metric ton of news.
Yeah, yeah. It's quite a list. I think I'll probably save one of the bigger ones for after, but we've
Yep,
talked about this before, so let's get into this. Ubisoft laid
go
off
on.
more employees.
Told you that it was coming.
Yeah. Now the good
Yeah,
news is apparently they are offering them like severance packages and like
I think that's a legal requirement, though.
yeah, well, I mean, I'm not entirely sure if it's a legal requirement, like, because it's like that, like, getting fired versus getting laid off and like all this other
Is,
stuff, and like,
is it Ubisoft? Is it Ubisoft France?
I'm
Like the
not
French
entirely sure.
business?
I have to check. Um,
Because Ubisoft is based in France, and I think they're based in Canada. I
mhm,
don't know if they're based in America.
got you. So it might be a
If they're
legal
based in
requirement for them.
if they're based in France, I'm 99% sure it's a legal requirement in Europe that you get
Okay.
paid for
Is it
being for unjustly terminated, as it were.
is it also a legal requirement for them to assist you in finding a new job?
I don't know. It depends on the country.
Okay, because like apparently they are giving assistance in finding new jobs for
Hmm.
the people, and they issued a statement
Okay.
saying, "Hey, like this isn't for lack of skill. It's not for a lack of
Yeah.
effort or anything. It's just right now this is just
It's
not good for
redundancy,
us. You know what I mean?
basically.
But
It's redundancy, yeah.
despite that, even though Prince of Persia got canceled,
Hmm.
Splinter Cell, the remake has
Oh.
still not gotten canceled.
Oh, okay. So I'd heard it had gotten cancelled. So it hasn't been cancelled.
No, apparently they are working on it in the Snowdrop engine, which I think
Okay.
the Division is made in that. I think Star Wars
Yes, I think
Outlaws
so.
is also made in that. So
I mean, Star Wars Outlaws. I mean, that's not really a game you want to be bragging his shares
no,
in
I'm just
immediately. No,
just throwing out what was made with that
just throwing it
engine.
out there.
So
So,
it's kind of a
so
mixed
I've
bag
been
here.
Star Wars Outlaws was one where I could see the absolute shitstorm that it was when it came out, where people were like taking clips of people falling through the environment and stuff like that, right? And I was there going like, this game is so bad, I have to play it because there's
Right,
sometimes games look really badly optimized. Like I have
right.
to play this just to see how bad it is. I'm going to be doing that with I think it's Forspoken, which
Okay.
is like the Square
Yeah.
Enix sort of like thing of like I just move shit with my mind game. So I want to see just how bad that is, right? Star Wars Outlaws came out onto Game Pass. I was like, oh, finally, I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So I was like, I'm going to play it. One person I know has been playing it, and every single day that he's been playing it, he's turned around to me and gone, so Star Wars Outlaws is definitely a game.
I
It's
might
like, is it
know
a
who
good
you're
game?
talking about
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
I
he
was
has
like,
also kind of bitched to me about it.
probably. I was like, is it a good game? Is it a bad game? He went, it's a game.
Yep. Yeah, dude, it is that thing though, like you were saying, like there are some games that are just so bad that you have to
Hmm.
experience it for yourself because it's
Yeah.
either going to be comical or you know what I mean? Like it might be a feature, not a bug, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's also the off chance that you may actually like it.
Yeah,
No.
that is true. I will
Yeah.
on record say this now. There are plenty of
Hmm.
games out there that are broken and just like
Oh
objectively
yeah.
bad that I have still very
Yep.
much enjoyed.
100%.
Um,
And the thing is, it's subjective. So,
yeah.
like, if 1,000 people rag on Star Wars Outlaws, there's still going to be maybe 10 people who love it. You
Yeah,
know?
no, actually that's I mean that's fair. So that is like it's good news that like bad news that we lost like another section of a
Yeah.
development team or a publisher or but like at the same time like good news that like there are still projects in the works that have not been
Hmm.
canceled, which means people are still employed to some
Yeah.
extent.
That's good. It still
And
sucks about Prince of Persia though, because I loved that game as a kid.
yeah, dude, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Did they say how many are being laid off?
Oh gosh, I want to say it was like 40 or something like that.
Do you know what? My brain went, oh, that could have been worse.
Yeah, it
Like,
could have been a
right.
lot worse. Yep, lays off
I've
40
yeah,
employees as a part of a major
40.
restructuring.
Okay. I mean, it's obviously bad. 40 people have still lost their jobs, but we've seen way worse than that.
It
We've
was
seen
it was
way, way
Canada.
worse.
It was Canada. It was Ubisoft
It was
Toronto.
Canada. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
About 8% of its staff.
Oh, that's quite a chunk.
Yeah.
It's quite a chunk of people.
Apparently it's for
Okay.
a major reset and a broader efficiency drive.
Yeah. Do you know what? Like, every time I see all these mass layoffs,
Yep.
one, it's horrible. So many people are losing their
Of
jobs.
course.
But what I see from it is I'm there going, this is the AAA bubble bursting,
Yep.
right? So like AAA has grown and grown and grown and grown from like the 80s or 90s. It's just kept growing exponentially. It can't grow infinitely,
Yeah, it
right?
can't go
It can't
forever.
grow infinitely. You can only afford to pay so many people. There's only so many copies of a game you can reasonably sell. Like even if like the people who are like funding you, like the people who are like paying the bills and paying to make these games and everything, even if they're turning around to you and say we want to sell 10 million copies, there's no guarantee you're going to sell 10 million copies.
Unless you're
You know?
Skyrim and you've just been re-released and re-released and
Oh, don't,
Oh
because Todd
man.
Howard found a bloody way to re-release on the Switch 2 as well. That's his newest one, the Switch
So
2 re-release.
crazy, bro. It's so
Why
wild.
make Elder Scrolls 6 when Elder Scrolls 5 has been carrying you for so long?
Dude,
Right.
like 2 decades.
Did you see he had to come out recently and say that they are actually working on it?
Oh, please,
Like,
dude. Like
yeah,
it's insane. But yeah, that's it's good that, we still have a studio, you know what I mean? Like it
yeah,
sucks that they've lost, a major chunk, but they're still going
yeah.
and for now. Another cool thing for all the parents out there like us, um there's a story-driven Bluey game coming out. So if you're trying to,
Okay.
get your kids into gaming, if your kids are into gaming and they're at that age,
Hmm.
or honestly, dude, I will probably end up playing it because like Bluey is one of those
I've played the
shows.
other one.
Bluey is one of those shows where like it's funny.
Hmm.
I'm in my 30s, and if my kids want to watch it, I'm like, yeah, yeah, we can watch it. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah,
Like it's
hell yeah.
it's just a good
Blue's great.
depiction, of like being parents as well as a good depiction of kids
Hmm.
being kids.
Yeah,
So
Bluey's great, but also have you played the Bluey video game, the one that's on Game
I've not
Pass?
played the first one. I heard it was like really busted and stuff like that, and like it was not great. So I was like apprehensive to get it for my kids. But I mean, if you played
when
it,
when when I played it, I have played it.
mhm,
It did feature on my streams and on my channel. Um, it's one of those. It's your typical kids game
yeah,
where it works and it's a decent game. It's
yeah,
like loads of little mini games. Typical kids game. You go to the different parts of the house, you do different mini games, you explore the world of Bluey and do different mini games and
yeah,
stuff. There's a story that you're following. It's cute, but like when I say it's a typical kids game, I mean it's typical in the sense that like they've put the bare minimum of effort in. You know,
Oh
where like
no.
where like they've got the voice actors are there and
That's
all that
cool.
kind of thing, but like there's so many technical issues that a kid wouldn't notice,
Right,
and
right.
so it doesn't matter, right? So it doesn't. Why would we
Yeah.
fix that? Kid's not going to notice that, right? But then when you're there as an adult playing it, you go, hang on.
Yeah, no, that
Hang
makes
on.
sense. That's kind of what I gathered from like the
Hmm.
reviews. Like people are like, "Oh, my kid's playing this and I'm kind of either playing with them or I'm
Yeah.
watching them." And I'm like, "Ah, this isn't
Yeah.
great." So but
Yeah.
yeah, I
If
that one's supposed to be
it
good though.
has it has loads of collectibles in it, I will
Yeah.
say that I had to look up how to get some of them
Oh,
because
okay.
it's one of those where I would be impressed, and I'm not saying they couldn't, but I would be
Right.
impressed if a kid under 10 if a kid under 10 could find all of those collectibles
Right.
without help. Like, I would be impressed.
Yeah.
I'd be very impressed.
This new one's supposed to be very story driven and apparently like it's undergone a pretty long development cycle. So, fingers
Okay.
crossed that that one's going to be really fun.
Hopefully.
For all of the people who were enjoying all of the remakes and stuff they did, Blue Point Studios has shut down.
Ooh, okay. They've shut down. Who's Blue Point? What did they do?
Blue Point, I'm pretty sure that they were who did like the Demon Souls remasters and stuff like that. I think they also did what is it? Shadow of the Colossus. Um, they did the Nathan Drake
Oh,
collection.
damn.
Yep,
Wow, that's a big company to go down.
yep. The God of War collection that
So
came
they,
out
yeah,
before.
they were doing like they were a remaster division basically.
Yeah. And they
Yeah.
unfortunately they have shut down. So and they did some really
Oh,
good
that sucks.
remasters, like honestly.
Yeah.
So but
Yeah.
in a weird way, and this is nothing against anybody who worked there, like part of me is like, okay, like, does this mean we're moving away finally from all the remasters and stuff? Like, is it no longer a
Maybe.
profitable, like, sort of industry? But yet I still see them happening. And I'm a big like remake over remaster sort of person. Like, don't just throw a new
Yeah.
coat of paint on the old thing. Like, if you're gonna reintroduce it, like, let's actually reintroduce it, maybe fix some of the issues that it had or whatever, and go in. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of just a constant remaster. It's the same as like movies at the minute, where
yeah,
they're sticking to what's safe.
yeah.
I will say I've just looked up the list of all the games that they've made,
Yeah.
and the very first game on their list is something called Blast Factor. I was like, I've never heard of Blast Factor, and so I clicked it, and literally, this is how you know that you've become known for a certain thing, right? It says Blast Factor is a shooter video game developed by Bluepoint Games and published by Sony for the PS3.
Yep.
One of the first games to be released only on the PS networks. It's one of the first digital only
Yep.
games. But it's the first game developed by Bluepoint and the only one that is not a remaster.
Ugh. Well, I mean, it was honestly, I'm looking here at Blue, not Blue Point, but Blast Factor, and yeah, it had some
It's an
pretty
arcade game, right?
lukewarm reviews, dude, like 60s and 70s out of 100. So
Yeah. But
pretty
hey, I mean, hey,
average.
they clearly were good at remastering, so good for them.
Yeah, but so I guess that's
But
not gonna be a thing
unfortunately,
anymore.
well, remastering will
Well,
still
yeah,
be a
yeah, yeah,
thing.
but like they're not gonna be
But
working
that
on them.
sucks.
Uh,
So that's more people without jobs in the gaming industry.
yeah, man, it's
So
really unfortunate that this just kind of keeps happening. Speaking of
it's been in the
people.
way for like 5 years, man.
People getting out of the video game industry. Phil
Mm.
Spencer left Xbox, man. Um,
The big man himself has left.
yeah, and that's weird because I know like love him or hate him, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like it's one of those things where like I liked Phil Spencer. I did. Like I thought he
Yeah.
was a cool enough dude. I mean, obviously I don't know him personally, but I liked his public persona. Um,
Yeah, he had a good public image for the most part. Um, he definitely. I mean, how long was he in charge of
oh,
Xbox?
dude, I don't even know how many years, but let's see how.
Decades, right?
Yeah. Yeah, how long was Phil Spencer head of Xbox? It says
Literally
12
from the
years.
beginning. 12 years. Okay,
So,
so a significant chunk of time. So 2014 would have been when he
yeah, just
started.
around there, yeah. So it's a
Yeah.
a
So
pretty decent amount of time, and I mean it's
yeah.
now I know some people will hate this. For me, I think it's a positive. Even though I am like pro physical versus digital, I'm also
Mm.
still pro Game Pass in a sense. So
Yeah, I
and
get
I
that.
understand how that's
I'm
kind of
basically the same.
hypocritical. You know what I mean? I get that like it's not
Yeah.
exactly a great stance to take, but um and I know that, he was big for, the creation of Ninja Gaiden 4 and pushing for that, for,
Hmm.
for Game Pass being a thing and for Xbox restructuring and I think he made some bad decisions, but I also think he made some really good ones for the brand. And I think he
It's hard
as a,
not to make bad decisions in a
yeah,
decade, to be
yeah,
fair.
and I think that he as a figurehead was a good figurehead for the company, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad seeing him walk away and retiring. And then Sarah Bond, who was seemingly being prepped to take his position, quit.
She's quit.
Yes,
She's not retired. She's not been fired. She's quit.
she just
She's not been taken by PlayStation or Nintendo or anyone else like that. She's just quit.
yeah, well, and that's the thing. What's weird about it? It just says that she's leaving the company. You know what I mean? And
It's so weird.
yeah, it's kind of weird, and I mean maybe I just haven't looked into it enough, which I maybe I should. And if other people in the comments want to like explain more, we'll probably have already read into it by then. But like, feel free to maybe try to fill in any gaps. But yeah, Phil Spencer retired as the CEO, and Sarah Bond resigned.
Sarah Bond resigned. That's it. That surprises me more because him retiring, fair enough. But Sarah Bond, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer because she also seemed like she was going to be a pretty decent like person to take over his position, but apparently they got somebody named Asha Sharma, and she was like
Okay.
apparently a leader of like a Microsoft AI sect.
Yeah, I've heard about this. Yeah.
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 I mean, you know my stance on AI, and I know your stance on AI. So I don't think either one of us is feels comfortable with this. But
No.
from what I know, she has apparently said that she is not going to like lean on AI or whatever. That like people have told her like, hey, there was somebody else who was in Xbox that basically tweeted at her and said something along the lines of like, get tight with the community.
Yeah.
Like that's you gotta be part of the community. And she was like, I'm taking that advice. So
Yeah. So I'm just taking some of what she said from her because I found her post that she did as to her leaving.
yeah.
One the main takeaway. So this is a big thing. I'm not gonna read it all, but she said she's decided that it's the right time to take the next step, both personally and professionally.
Hmm.
We're living through a transformative technological era that will shape the next generation of our industry,
Yep.
and I'm energized by what's ahead. From what I can see, I mean, it's literally just people guessing, right? It's literally people
Yeah.
guessing, but some people seem to be spitballing that part of the reason why she maybe left was because they wanted to embrace AI a little bit more,
Well, this
and
is
she didn't want to.
Asha said. Asha Sharma. She said,
Mm.
as monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, you know, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Games are and always will be art crafted by humans and created with the most innovative technology provided by us. So,
Huh. I mean that's positive.
yeah.
I don't. The last thing we need is AI taking more people's jobs than the jobs that are already being lost.
Look, we've
You
already
know.
talked about this before. Like we both don't have a pro AI stance. We're both pretty anti AI, at least generative AI.
I think considering the fact we're both creatives, it's hard to be
It is
pro AI.
very, very hard to be pro AI as a creative, and I don't want to be. It's not like I'm trying.
No,
But I
no, no.
I think that what makes this difficult is corporations lie. You know what I
Yeah, of
mean?
course they do.
And we've talked about this before. I have no loyalty to Sony. I have no
Hmm.
loyalty to Microsoft. No loyalty to Nintendo. But I
Yeah,
had been leaning on Xbox a lot more these past couple of years, and so I'm
yeah.
a little nervous to see how this is gonna shape the future.
I mean, they're not exactly blameless. I mean, if you look at the properties that they own,
Oh yeah.
Call of Duty has been using AI like very shamelessly. You
Oh,
know.
they're not blameless, and that's the thing that
No.
we've talked about this before. No loyalty. You know what I mean? No, I'm not a fanboy, but like I've definitely like leaned on my Xbox more these past couple years, probably because of Game
Yeah,
Pass. You know?
Game Pass has gone a long way to helping it, so it's a bit awkward
Yeah.
about all it. It's concerning, especially seeing as they've just raised prices for basically everything, and now the
Yes.
two people who you'd argue were the top of the pyramid have now both left.
That worries me, bro.
It's
I'm not gonna lie to you. That
mm,
that kind of worries me a bit. I feel like things are gonna get very shaken up. I don't know if they just saw the direction things were going and were just like, I can't get on board with this. Like, it's time to dip. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Who
maybe,
knows?
maybe.
But it is what
We're
it
just
is.
speculating at this point
Yeah,
because
I mean,
I mean, they're not going to clarify.
we're gonna have to just just keep our eyes out, spitballing.
Hmm.
But it's I'm a little nervous. But
Hmm.
speaking of other things that make me uncomfortable in gaming,
Oh,
Nintendo,
oh,
Nintendo,
okay. Are we?
Game
Oh,
Freak.
no. Okay. So I know what you're going to talk about. Do you want to save this for the Pokemon Presents bit, or do you want to do it now?
The only other thing I have on our list of news is just a warning to people. So we'll
Oh,
get into that
go
and then
on.
we
What's
can
the
get into the
warning?
presents. So I'm a big Resident Evil fan. That's no secret. I've talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
Everybody, if you're a Resident Evil fan, I know the new game comes out like next Friday. Stay off the internet because people
Oh
have
yeah.
gotten the
Yeah.
game
That's just a
early.
general. Yeah.
People have gotten the
Hmm.
game early. It's already started to be spoiled. Like the reviews are starting to come out. I haven't been spoiled yet. I'm not going to read the comments. I'm not going to let you guys spoil it for me. I'm staying
Hmm.
away from our social media for the next like week outside of just
I
posting.
don't care about Resident Evil. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll look.
Yeah, so you can look for me. But I I've heard that apparently like yeah, people have been putting content out because we talked about this before. It's a
Of
rush
course they have. Of
to
course
be
they have.
the person who knows first, and the
Got to be
game's
number
not even
one.
out yet, dude.
No, it that happens so much with games at the minute.
Yep.
Like when Pokemon Legends ZA released, it leaked like what, like 2 weeks early or something like that. Like
Yeah.
people were playing it like 2 weeks early. Yeah, it's just a thing now that's going to happen. I will say, as a general blanket rule, whenever any new game comes out, like in my community in
Yeah.
particular, like with my Discord and everything, we have a blanket rule of don't talk about the game. If it's just come out, we have a specific section just for talking about spoilers,
Yeah.
so that people, if they've got a new game, they can go talk about it there, because most people don't want it spoiled.
Most
You
people
know.
don't. Yeah, most people. If you're a big fan of it and you're really
Hmm.
engrossed in it, you want to have your own experience, or at least I would like to believe that the majority of these people want to have their own experience. And maybe I'm
Yeah.
off base, and maybe we're just old. You know what I mean? But I would like to believe that like most people don't want things spoiled and want to have their own experience with
Yeah.
this, and that's just how I feel about it. I'm very excited for this game,
Hmm.
and I am trying to avoid any and all spoilers at this point. So I've been hiding from social media ever since I saw a video where someone was like, "If you're a fan, be
Yeah.
forewarned," and I was like, "All right, I'm out." So,
Yeah, no, no, that's fair. That's fair. It's the same with all forms of media.
yep.
Like my wife is hugely into One Piece,
Mhm.
but she watches the dub because she just prefers the
That's fair.
voice
Yeah.
actors for it. She's fine. Like it's not like she thinks the dub is better. She just personally prefers the voice actors for the dub.
Well, it's
Um,
easier too, because like if I'm watching like think
yeah,
something subbed, if my eyes aren't glued to those words and I
yeah,
look
right,
away for a second, I have
right.
no idea what's happening anymore.
100%. I've watched it subbed and dubbed, so like
Right.
I've seen it in both. But like that she hates the internet because of all the One Piece spoilers that she gets,
They're out there.
non-stop.
Yep.
Yeah, non-stop. So it's the same with every industry. But hey, I mean, I hope you enjoy the game when you get to
I
play it.
appreciate it, man. Yeah, and I hope everyone else enjoys
Yeah,
it too when they get to play it.
yeah.
I hope it doesn't get spoiled for any of you. I'm actively trying to avoid it, and I knew this
I
was gonna happen,
yeah,
but it's just like I've gotten the official warning that like, hey,
yeah,
they're out there now, and I'm like, got it.
yeah.
So,
What's the woman in the game's name?
Grace.
Grace, okay, I'm going to preface this with I know nothing about this game. This isn't me spoiling it. Leon dies, and Grace takes over being him. Literally at the end of the game, she picks up his guns. She goes out and goes, "It's time to kick some zombie ass." There you go. You're welcome. I've
Thank you,
ruined the
thank
game
you.
for you.
Well, now
Yeah,
I can't ever play it. No, I am very much like looking forward to this. So, I mean,
yeah.
for people who may not have understood that, that was sarcasm from him. I'm so
This
worried
is the bit
someone's
where
gonna
the
hear
people
that
the
and they're
people
gonna be like,
watching.
no.
Mm. The people watching are seeing me just smirk evilly,
Right.
but like I'm
So we're into our big thing now. Our
a big thing.
yep, the big thing. All right, so
Big thing.
Nintendo, Game Freak,
It's
whoever
Pokemon
decided
Presents.
this, dude.
Pokemon
Um,
Day. Well,
why?
for people who don't know, it's Pokemon Day. Pokemon Day is every year in February, like the last week or so of February. But like, it's the 30th anniversary
Yeah.
this year. It's the 30th anniversary, big 30. It's almost as old as we are. Um, like it's yeah, it's been around a long time, and so people are getting hyped. Who are like, hey, 30th anniversary, you got to do some cool shit, right? And so far we know nothing except for one thing. And what is that one thing, Tyler?
The re-release, the port of Fire Red and Leaf Green to the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. It's on the eShop.
Yeah,
And
you can
let's talk
pre-order it.
about this for a second. Let's talk about this for a second. There is a perfectly good Game Boy Advance emulator that
Thank you,
if you have
thank you.
Nintendo Switch Online, you have access to. Um,
Oh, I'm so glad you said this.
now to be fair, this that does kind of lock people who don't have Nintendo Switch Online out of it, right? But I don't
You have the
understand.
emulator.
Yeah, I don't
Like the
understand.
emulator's there. No,
Like,
I understand. It's greed.
yeah,
It's greed,
yeah,
right? So for those who don't know, maybe you're not a Pokemon player or anything like that. The back half of this podcast, if you're not a Pokemon player, is going to be boring as sin,
yeah. Thanks for
because
watching.
it's
Yeah,
so.
like,
Thanks for watching. Check you later.
yep,
But yeah, basically, like Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green are the remakes, not remasters. The remakes of the original games Red and Blue or Red and Green for the Japanese release, or whatever.
yeah,
They're the original. They're the remakes of the originals. They're really good. I'd
yeah.
argue they're some of the best remakes they've ever done.
Yeah, I would say that like in terms of if you're gonna do a remake, they are one of the games that like
Yeah,
exemplifies what a like almost like perfect remake would be.
yeah. They improve the graphics, they improve the mechanics,
Yeah.
they add the typings that have been missing up until that point, which Fairy is not in it because Fairy didn't exist still,
Yep.
because it was made in Generation 3 to remake Generation 1.
Yeah, so Steel and Dark were the added type.
Steel and Dark were added, yeah. They've added some more things. They've added like the Sevi Islands to the
Yep.
game, and they've moved the legendary birds around and all that kind of thing. Like there's just some fun extra stuff to do, which is why it's a remake, not a remaster.
Right.
A remaster is just we've improved the graphics.
Yeah. Just threw a new coat of paint
Yeah,
on it.
new coat of paint,
Yeah.
right? And then slapped a new price tag on it. A remake is we've actually gone ahead and changed some
Yeah, they
things.
basically redeveloped the game from the ground
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Missing no is not a feature anymore, you know.
No.
But yeah, so for some reason, for some reason, they released all these emulators onto their console
Yep.
that you get through having your online membership, be it in tiers or whatever, and they don't release the Game Boy Advance game on the Game Boy Advance emulator. I mean,
The game is
the
22 years old, by the way.
yeah, and they're charging how much? $20?
19.99 a piece, not for both of them.
Why do it for
$20 a
both?
piece, bro.
Why end the ongoing everlasting scam of Pokemon of making you buy two games?
I just like it's and the problem is, dude, there are these like Nintendo slash Pokemon apologists who are out there
Yeah.
like defending it to death, bro.
So, don't get me wrong. I know why they did it.
Mhm.
Little brief history lesson for people as to why there's two games.
Yes.
The main reason was that Pokemon was made to shift hardware.
Mhm.
It was made to sell hardware, specifically the link cable. And so they had the genius idea because they wanted people to play together, but they couldn't think of a way of how to get people to play together because the internet wasn't really a thing at that point. It was a thing, but it was a new thing, and it wasn't. Wi-Fi certainly wasn't a thing. And like they had to think of a way. How can we get people to play together? I know. We've got. Why don't we get a USB to USB cable and have it connect to people's Game Boys, and then they can play with each other. And then they're going, okay, but they've got the same game, so how does that benefit them? And so what they did was they split the bloody game into two, and they put some of the Pokemon on here and some of the Pokemon on here. And so in order to get all the Pokemon, you have to trade between games.
They even made
It's
some
evil, it's
Pokemon
genius.
only evolve by trading them. So,
It's evil, it's genius,
yep.
and it's sold millions of USB cables.
Like it's crazy because like I
Yeah,
mean it's 22 years just about because
yeah,
yeah, well in September it'll be 22 years for North America, in October for Europe.
yeah.
So it's crazy to me that both games $20 a piece. You have a
That's
perfectly
insane.
good like Game Boy like emulator pretty much on there.
Yep.
Now I don't know, and this may be another reason. So I will walk this back slightly, not 100%, but
Yeah,
slightly. Like I don't know how they would have gotten Pokemon Home to be compatible with the emulator.
I think that's how they're arguing it, right?
Right. So I mean, like, there's that, but
Yeah.
can we also go and say, why does Pokemon Home need to be compatible? Because if I'm not mistaken, almost every Pokemon, if not every Pokemon, in Fire Red and Leaf Green are available on like every other game that exists. I think the only thing that changes
Maybe.
is like maybe they could learn like a different move or something. You know what I mean?
Maybe. So, I mean, if you think about the games that are currently on the Switch
Mhm.
for Pokemon, you've got Sword and Shield, you've got Scarlet and Violet, you've got the two Legends games, and you've got Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl.
Yeah.
You've got Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, which is the same game. You've got, yeah, Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu is Gen 1 as well,
That's what
just
I'm
a
saying,
different
dog.
style. It's a,
Like
it's
I
a
just
remake, it's a different style of game. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, that negates the need for home if there's already a Generation 1 game on the Switch.
Also, you could transfer if you had done it before, and like this is obviously like a thing before they took Pokemon
Hmm.
Bank away. You already
Yeah.
had all the Gen 1 and Gen 2 games, and you had Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire that you could have put into Pokemon Bank. So Gens 1, 2, and 3 would have been accessible
Hmm.
to put into home. So I get it, like, we're at a point where certain things aren't accessible anymore, and they need to do it. But I don't know. It just seems like it seems predatory.
I mean, it kind of is. Pokemon, so as someone who has gotten quite a decent foothold in the Pokemon
Yeah,
community, I will say Pokemon fans are some of the best and some of the worst fans in the whole
agreed.
fandom, because they're the best because they truly adore the games.
Yes.
Like they truly, truly adore the games.
Yes.
Like if you meet someone who says that they're a Pokemon fan, they're really a fan,
Oh yeah.
right? Like they'll have the plushes, they'll have the cards, they'll have the toys, they'll have the video games, they'll have the movies, they'll have the DVDs of
Mhm.
the TV show, they'll have all of it, right?
I'm one
And
of those people. Like I still
I
have
am.
a base set Charizard. Like, you know what I mean? Like
My
I'm one of those
son, my
people.
son has got a Totodile plush back there.
Um,
Like he.
it's not in here. It's in my bedroom, but my wife like made me like one of those like perler bead things. She
Hmm.
made me a Totodile
Yeah,
out of perler beads. So
yeah. I've literally got like the so for those who don't know, I have a regular gaming channel and I have a Pokemon gaming channel,
yeah.
right, on YouTube. My Pokemon gaming channel, first of all, I have a Pokemon gaming channel, but second of all, like as soon as my son was born, his name's Theodore. I had someone make a new logo for me of me holding a Teddy Ursa
Yep.
because he's Teddy,
Yep.
right? Like we're both Pokemon fans, and yet
Yeah.
we're both here going like, this is a bit
That's the
scummy,
thing, man. Is because like
like.
I think there's a big difference, right? And this is like this is no shade at all. I want to preface it's not shade. It's not
Yeah.
me looking down on anybody. And it's going to sound
No, no,
maybe
no.
it might sound pretentious. It might sound, condescending. But I think, man, I think it's just because we're older and you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like, and so it's like we're starting to see things like outside of the realm of nostalgia out, you know what I mean? We've played these games so many times, they've been released so many times, and things of that nature, and then like it's like how many times can I buy this? Like, do I really need access on it this way? I honestly, like,
Yeah.
I will say straight up, like, they're like, I'm not going to pretend I haven't been emulating it for years. You know what I mean? um and so it's
I mean, would we ever?
no, I would
No, no, we'd never do
never
that.
emulate it.
No.
But I still have my original Fire Red cartridge. You know what I
I
mean?
do. I have Fire Red and Leaf
Yeah.
Green somewhere.
And
Yeah.
so
Like it. Yeah.
it's just at that point where I'm like, is this worth $40 to me? And it's
No.
just not. And to some people it is. And it's like I said, no shade to them, but I think just
Hmm.
genuinely it feels a bit predatory, and it feels like there isn't enough like means to justify this release or this decision. Now, if it would have been cheaper, maybe. If it would have been, on that
Yeah.
that emulator, cool. I know the home functionality is a thing, and so I will, respect that decision. But at the end of the day, I do not think that a 22-year-old game that is a
No, it
remake of
doesn't need to
another
be.
game needs to be $20 a piece.
Right, right. If they wanted to do something to celebrate the 30th anniversary, where they want to re-release Gen 1, what
Yeah.
they could have done, and it would have been, I argue, it would have been even better received,
Hmm.
is they re-release actual red and blue, and they can charge $5.
I think 4.99 for red and blue is perfect. I would argue that I would even pay
Ten
nine.
bucks for
Yeah,
both.
I would argue I'd pay 9.99 for fire red and leaf green. I would do that.
Yeah,
But like when you're
yeah,
hitting $20, and it's not like oh, I don't have $20. I'm not spending $20 on this
yeah.
Pokemon game, that I already own.
No,
Yeah.
I have $20, but I'm not spending $20.
Thank
You
you.
know, like the only reason why I'm spending that I would ever spend that $20 is because my wife likes Pokemon, but
Yeah.
she is new to Pokemon.
Yep.
She started with Sword and Shield,
Yeah.
which is the second latest generation. So like getting her to replay Gen 1 would be great. But guess what? I have Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah.
So she can do that. It's not the same, but it's
It
basically
is
the
very
same.
different. But like I will say
Right.
this too, because like obviously the mechanics and everything are different. Like it's just from our perspective, right? There are people who never got the
Yes,
opportunity to
yes, yes,
play
yes.
this. There are people who,
100%.
would have loved that. They don't have access to an old Game Boy Advance cartridge, don't have a Game Boy Advance, whatever. But and maybe don't like the idea of emulation, and that's totally fine. But
It's fair.
I just think from our perspective as like lifelong fans who had been through this, it is not worth it for us, and it
No,
feels honestly kind of like a slap in the face a little bit. Um,
it does. Two questions for you then,
yeah,
based on what you've just said.
yeah.
One, do you think this is aimed more at the nostalgia or at the people who have never played it?
I personally believe it is aimed more at the nostalgia because they know it will sell to the people who, want to buy it. But I think
Right.
it has that like two things can be true at the same time sort of thing, you know what I mean? And I don't think
Yeah,
that
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're ignoring the fringe benefit of maybe some of these people who didn't get this opportunity can go back and play it.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. And two, I don't remember. I don't remember the
Cuz
second
cuz
question.
realistically, man, like re-releasing these games, I don't think
Mm,
anybody ever really goes into it with the idea of like a let's give, these people the opportunity to play it because they didn't. They're like, "Yo, it would be great. All these people who loved this game, let's give it to them
mm-hmm.
again." Like that
Yeah.
always seems to be the
That was,
feeling.
yeah, I remember my second. So my second
Yeah.
question then, do you think, because I'm starting to believe it, even as a lifelong Pokemon fan, I'm
Yeah.
starting to believe it, do you think the Pokemon Company are the worst gaming company for exploiting their consumers?
Oh, look, I love Pokemon.
Because you cannot say that they put the highest amount of effort in. I'd say they put some of the lowest amount of effort into their games, specifically their games. They put the lowest amount of effort into their games. Legends ZA had a budget of what was it, 13 million?
Something like that. Yeah. Let me look up just to make
There are there
sure.
are there are double A games that get triple the budget of that. Double the budget.
It
Triple the
was
budget.
Yeah, 13.1 million USD. Yep.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
For clarification, Pokemon is the single biggest franchise in human history. It is double the size of its second place, which is Mickey freaking Mouse, right? The Walt Disney Company are the second place, and they're double their size.
So check this out. Legends Arceus, whatever you want to say, actually had a larger budget than
Yeah.
ZA did.
And yet, Legends of Arceus was really well received. People loved it.
Yeah. It
People loved it.
yeah, Arceus had
So
a
why did the budget go
14
down?
yeah, and a 14.4 million budget versus a
Oh,
13.1.
so they're getting no budget basically. Like that, people may hear 13 million, 14 million. I think that's a huge budget. GTA 6 has already surpassed a billion
Yeah, not
for
for
its
not
budget.
not for like a game. And that's the whole thing. Is like
No.
Pokemon and I think people also think about it this way. They're like, "Well, Pokemon makes so much money." Yes, it does, but like Pokemon as a whole, the IP, right? So it's like the anime, the plushes, all the different merchandise, the theme parks, the whatever. So it's like, yeah, when they have so many revenue streams, Game Freak themselves and the Pokemon Company themselves, I'm not really sure
Uh-huh.
what they're receiving, but when your budget is that low and you have that many people buying the game,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to assume that your budget like definitely could be higher and you could put more effort into it. My biggest issue is not actually with the development team either. It is I don't know if there are other investors involved or if it's Nintendo or whatever. I can't pass a lot of judgment on this outside of just like I really wish that I didn't have to pay 60 or $70 for a game that I do feel like is like half baked or almost like you don't care about giving me a quality product, but you want me to pay a premium price.
Yeah. For contrast, Astrobot, which was Sony's big
Yeah,
platformer that they put out, one game of the year, all that kind of thing. It's never had an official number, but it's been roughly guesstimated to be 70 million as a budget.
dog, that's like 5 times as much or whatever, dude.
Right. Baldur's Gate 3 had roughly a budget of 100 million, right? It like I said, GTA 6, they've already reported that it's roughly spent 1 billion on it already in development. Like, now that's an obscene number, but Pokemon's the biggest franchise in human history. Not in gaming, in human history for anything. It's the biggest franchise.
So check this out
They
though.
can't afford a bit more?
The highest budget for any Pokemon game was Scarlet and Violet at 20 to 22 million.
That's still nothing. That's still nothing. So we've always had a running thing of why are the Pokemon games not achieving the quality that we want? Because they're achieving the sales figures, but they're not achieving necessarily the quality that a lot of fans want.
Right.
There will always be fans who are very, very happy with the product, and
Yeah.
fantastic. I'm glad you're happy with the
No,
product.
100%.
As someone who plays variety for a living, I will play a Pokemon game and then go to a different game and go, wow, that Pokemon game really did suck compared to this, didn't it? Right? Right?
Well, I mean, he's not wrong.
Because like as much as I enjoyed that Pokemon game, when I go to this game that received triple, quadruple the budget,
Right.
I'm then playing through it going, wow, this game's so much better. This game is so much
Which
better.
of course it is,
Um,
but like, and that's not the point we're trying to make. Is that the game
no,
with
we're
the
not saying
higher
that money will
budget,
make it good.
right? The game with the
No.
higher budget is better, but it's just the fact that Pokemon could do this.
If anything, it's the budget being too low is hindering it.
Yes.
Right? So like I'm not saying that if you gave them $1 billion budget, it would be the best game that's ever been made, but it stands a better chance than one that's gotten 13 million.
And the time constraints is another
Right?
thing, right? Like they're pumping
Yeah.
games out so quickly, and Game Freak's already
Yeah.
split into an A team and a
Mm-hmm.
B team, and the B team gets Pokemon, as far as I know, and it's the smaller
Yeah.
team. Whereas like they're making games like Beast of Reincarnation,
Oh, looks so
and that
good.
game looks amazing.
Looks so good. But this is the thing. This is what I was going to say. Like, there's always been a thing going around as to whether who's to blame for why it's not achieving the
Yeah.
levels that we want. Right? Is it Game Freak? Is it Nintendo? Is it the Pokemon Company? Who is it? They're
Yeah.
all technically the same thing, right? They're all technically the same thing because they're all like somewhat equal shareholders in the
Yeah,
product,
it's definitely a
right?
symbiotic relationship.
Yeah. But when you see Game Freak putting out promotional footage, it's not the game yet. We haven't seen the game yet. The game could be garbage.
Yeah.
But when you see them putting out something like Beast of Reincarnation, you're going, so it's not you.
Well, and that's the thing
Yeah,
is it
it's
might
not
be
you.
because honestly, from what I've heard, they're kind of just tired of being known for Pokemon. Like there are
They've
other
definitely made that
games
clear that they are sick of Pokemon.
they've made other games
Yeah.
like and they're like just trying to make another like big success.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
Yeah.
they'll ever reach that and not, it's not to say that they couldn't, I mean it's
Yeah.
possible. I just don't know if they'll ever reach that again because I mean in the past several
Yeah.
years they made pretty much a bunch of Pokemon games. A game called Pando Land, which was an iOS and
Yeah.
Android game.
Yeah.
More Pokemon, more Pokemon. A game called Little Town Hero. I think that was the last one I heard of
Wow.
before, whatever. And then another one called Giga Wrecker. Those are the ones that I heard of. Outside of that, I haven't really heard of
No.
anything else that
They
Pokemon's
don't
kind
have
of
the
made.
staff. They don't have the staff to do that. That's the thing. They don't have the staff to do Pokemon and something
They
else.
only have 207 employees as of 2024. That's
It's
not a
mad.
lot of people, bro.
For the development team for the biggest franchise in the world, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they've
but again,
licensed
maybe
like
that's
games
why the
out
budget's
too.
lower. Maybe that's why the budget's lower because they've
Yeah.
got less overhead. Maybe I don't know.
They've licensed
But
games
like,
out like, to other
yeah,
companies as well. Like I think
hmm
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, stuff like that.
yes,
So,
yeah. The remasters tend to not be Game Freak that do it.
right.
But like for those who heard the statement, they're sick of making Pokemon and went, why would you be sick of making the biggest game in the world, the biggest franchise in the world? It's for creatives. It becomes the worst thing you can do is lock them in a box, right? That's the worst thing you can do for creatives is lock them in the box and say you do this one thing really well, so keep doing this one thing.
Yeah.
They will do it while they're passionate about it, and then as soon as the passion starts to dwindle, they stop caring,
Yeah.
right? It'll be gradual, depends on the person how long it takes them to stop caring, but they'll want to move on to other things, right? So a famous example would be Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
So Naughty Dog, for those who don't know, as well as making The Last of Us, Uncharted, Jack and Daxter, all those things, they were originally Crash Bandicoot. So they made Crash Bandicoot 1. It was wildly successful. And then they were told, right, now make second Crash Bandicoot game, and it's coming out next year. And they went, what? What? It's like, it's coming out next year. So, oh Christ, okay, fine. And they made it. And not only did they made it better than the first game,
Yeah.
right? And it sold even more. And then they went, great, now do it again. It's like, what? You've got to make Crash Bandicoot 3, and it's coming out next year. So they did it again. And at that point, they'd been forced to do in 3 years. They did 3 games in 3 years, and their creativity basically was dying.
Yeah.
But they still had this pesky thing called a contract, and they had to do X number of games before the contract got renewed.
Yeah.
And so they went, right, fine, we'll do we'll do a racing game as our fourth game that we have to do, and then we're not renewing, right? We're not renewing. So they made Crash Team Racing, and then they dipped, right? So many people thought they were stupid for doing it, but that's how a lot of creatives are. That if you force them to do something, they're not going to enjoy it, and then they're not going to want to keep doing it.
It's the truth. Yeah.
And that's just what's happened with Game Freak. They don't want to do it
Well, I
anymore.
mean, there's the thing, like you don't want to be put into a box when you're trying to be creative, right?
Hmm
And so like when you first start out and you have all these ideas and you're allowed to do whatever, like there's that. But then when, like you said, you're kind of put into that box and you're like, okay, make this, make this, make this. It's like I'm no longer really being creative. I'm being told like there's limits and this is what I'm allowed to do, and it definitely hinders that process. I mean, Game Freak has gone
hmm
on to say that like as a company it's prioritizing other things like more than
Yeah.
Pokemon in general. They're always trying to create
Yep.
something that is equally exciting or more exciting in Pokemon. So honestly, they are than Pokemon. So they're trying to like get something to surpass Pokemon so they no longer really have to like have that be their thing.
It's never going to happen. Is the problem? That's the problem, right?
Yep.
Because Pokemon is one of those once in history kind of levels of success
Oh, it was
sort of
definitely a
thing.
lightning in the bottle sort of thing. You know what I mean? It was lightning in a
Hmm
bottle. They,
Yeah.
it was a perfect storm. They released it at the right time, the right sort of
Yeah.
formula, the right sort of idea,
Yeah.
and it just, I mean, it renewed the Game Boy's life.
It did.
Like,
It was, it wasn't the only one that came out at the time, but it was the only one that really got so much traction because when Pokemon came out, other things were also coming out. Digimon came out pretty close to it. Yu-Gi-Oh came out pretty close
Monster
to it.
Rancher.
Monster Rancher came out pretty damn close to it. Like,
Yep.
and there were loads and loads and loads of others. Beyblade came out not long after, and all that kind of thing. And like, Pokemon's really the one that blew up the most.
Yeah.
Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, they've all Beyblade to an extent. They've all got different levels of success.
Yeah.
They're all still going.
Yep.
But Pokemon was just right place, right time, right kind of gimmick,
Yeah.
right? And everything just fell into place. You're not going to be able to replicate that because those kinds of situations are luck. They're
Yeah.
luck for me. Like, don't get me wrong, like it's putting all the dominoes in place ready for the luck to push them over.
Yep.
But like it's luck as to which one of those was the most popular, really.
So based on all of this, like to
Yeah.
pivot, like what do you think after all of this time? for their 30th
Yeah.
anniversary, what do you think they are going to announce?
We're doing Pokemon Day predictions. Pokemon Day predictions. So Pokemon Day every single year disappoints me. I'm going to be honest.
I've not been
Um,
super hype on a Pokemon Day in a long time.
nah. They've got to announce Gen 10, right?
I would like for them to. I mean,
It's the 30th anniversary. They've got to announce
it's
Gen
been so
10.
many years like since Scarlet and Violet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the last game we got was a Legends game. So something
Hmm.
had to have been in development this whole time.
So if you go through, they've got to announce Gen 10. They just have to. I think there's ever an opportunity to announce the 10th generation of games,
Yeah.
it's got to be the
It doesn't even
30th
look, it doesn't even
anniversary,
have
right?
to be like ready, you know what I mean? But
Just a
there just
teaser,
has to be some sort of announcement. Yeah,
a teaser,
exactly.
like what they did with Scarlet and Violet, where they had the guy going through the room and like all that kind of thing,
Yeah,
right? Just tease the fact that it's coming out.
exactly.
You know, um, if you look through, like they release roughly 3 years every time. It's roughly a 3 year cycle.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm just quickly looking up the release date. I'm pretty sure it was about 3 years ago. It was 4 years ago actually.
So yeah, this
So
is the perfect
just
time.
so just over 3 years ago. So 3 years, 4 months,
Yeah.
something like that. 3 years, 3 months, 3 years, 4 months was when Scarlet and Violet came out. It's the right time. It's the right occasion for it. I suppose they kind of have to announce Gen 10, surely.
You know what I'm ready for? A
Fire
plethora
Red
of
Leaf Green.
mobile game news that no one gives a shit about.
Pokemon Cafe Masters Remix Explode. Like, yeah. Yeah, there'll be Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Cafe, Pokemon Masters and all that. There'll be all of that.
Trading card game, dude. I honestly, all right. I was
Pokemon
so
Go just had its
into.
anniversary.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe they'll do
Pokemon
something for
Go
that.
actually.
I
Pokemon Go
haven't
is
played that in
10 years
years.
old.
I have not played it in years.
Pokemon Go's 10-year anniversary is this year.
Okay,
So
honestly,
they'll,
I
they'll
could see
yeah.
them doing something for that because that's a decade. That's a big anniversary. So Pokemon Go,
It's
10
almost as big
years.
as 30. It
Pokemon Go is. I mean, I we know the 30, but like Pokemon Go lasting for 10 years is pretty impressive.
is impressive.
I don't
Not all
really play it
mobile games
anymore
last that
because
long.
it kind of has that thing we were talking about before. The replay value on it
Mm.
just kind of got lost on me. The gameplay loop just eventually I was like, okay. Same thing with trading
It
card games.
requires me to touch grass, man. It requires me to touch grass.
I actually go outside so often, and I still am
I
just
do
like
too.
I just don't care. You know what I mean? Trading card game was another one. Like I got into it really hard when it dropped, and then like
Hmm.
the content wasn't coming out fast enough and wasn't diverse enough to keep me interested.
Oh, the mobile app.
Yep, it was just the
Yeah,
same. Yeah, the TCG Pocket. It was the same,
yeah.
like, setup of events, the same, everything. And eventually I was just like, I wish they would do something new. And the only thing that was happening was like, here's a new set of cards. And I was like,
Mm.
yeah, I just don't really care anymore.
Do you know what's bad?
What's up?
I forgot it existed until you just said it. I I forgot. I actually forgot. That's why I
Oh.
was like, he's talking about when he was a kid getting the
No,
trading
no, no,
cards.
no. I
And then
still don't buy the trading cards in real life,
no,
but I
no.
would. But honestly, the pull rate just feels so garbage that and then even when I do pull something like here's a V Max or whatever, I'm like, oh word, and then I check it and it's like it's worth 30 cents, and I'm like, well, this is dumb.
Woo, woo.
So
I mean, let's be honest. But trading cards is just gambling.
oh
It's
yeah,
it's gambling with a different hat.
yeah.
That's all it is. Um, that's why when I saw the trading card game come out on mobile, I was like, ooh, that's risky.
Oh yeah, I'm
That's
sure
risky
I'm
for
sure people
me.
blew money on that, dude.
People did.
Could
People
not.
did.
Could not be me. But
No.
look, I had fun with it for a little bit, and I
Hmm.
wouldn't take any of that time back. But like, it's just, I just can't. Like, there'll probably be some mobile announcements for that, like we said, for
Yeah,
Masters,
obviously.
for whatever
I,
else is out there. But
I think we can disregard the obvious things, right?
yeah,
Like there's going to be mobile stuff. There's going to be a trading card announcement. There's going to be all that kind of thing. What do you think they're going to announce game wise?
I would.
As in actual game, not mobile game. Not that mobile games aren't games, but like
Do you think they'll touch on
game wise.
Pokopia before release?
I think we'll see more of Pocopia,
I think that'll probably happen.
aka Animal Crossing meets Stardew, but with a Pokemon skin, and it costs
Wait, the
$70.
price point. Oh, I forgot, dude. Is it actually 70?
From what I've heard, I might be wrong, but from what I've heard, it's $70.
Oh man, yep. On GameStop, Target, Best Buy, Amazon, Nintendo eShop listed for 69.99. The
$70.
physical version does
70
not contain the
bucks.
full game. It is a key card, a physical license that requires an internet download to play.
You don't even get the
Oh,
game.
everything about this is bad. I don't like
So
it.
from what I've heard, this is all just rumors, but from what I've heard, it's going to be about 20 or 30 hours long, which is pretty standard for a Pokemon game.
Okay.
About 20 30 hours long. It's going to be $70.
No, I'm good, dog. I'll wait.
$70,
I'll
dude.
wait.
Right. If they were saying that this was going to be their own version of like Stardew Valley, Animal
Right.
Crossing, Dreamlight Valley, all that kind of thing, where you're just going to constantly be able to play, it's like non-stop, go, go, go. You log in every day. There's new daily things to do. There's new events. There's like a year cycle sort of thing. Then
Yeah.
great, but that's not what they're marketing
It's
apparently.
unfortunate because like I felt like it had potential, but the more I found out about it, the more I was like,
Yeah, it's the fact that it's 70. I think it might be. This is just me from the top of my head. It might be the most expensive spin-off game to ever come out.
I think so because I don't remember Pokemon Snap 2 being that expensive
No, new
on
Pokemon
release.
Snap, I don't think. I think new Pokemon Snap was 50.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, phenomenal game.
Oh, it's super fun. I loved it.
Such a good game.
Um,
But yeah, like I think it might be the most expensive spin-off game they've ever done.
it's a little bit of a bummer. I think they're cashing in on, like you said, the cozy game sort of thing. 'Cause it's got the Minecraft sort of look. You know what I mean? Like it's.
I think they've realized that a staggeringly large percentage of Pokemon players are cozy gamers,
Oh, for sure. In a weird
and
way,
so
the
they've
the
they've
for,
yeah.
the formula for Pokemon in a weird way feels kind of cozy game. You know what I mean? To catch
I
creatures and
don't
raise
think of
them.
Pokemon. See, this is the thing. Pokemon is a JRPG. I don't think of it as a JRPG. I
Me
think of
neither.
it as like it's just a cozy adventure game. That's
Yeah.
what I think of it as.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I see the quote unquote JRPG elements like the turn-based and the
Yeah.
the elemental skills and stuff, but outside of that,
Yep.
like, no, I would have to agree. It just doesn't really feel. I mean, Monster Collector is like its own genre, but like, I don't
It
know.
is.
Yeah, I agree. It's
It's a
it's got
monster
weird
collector
cozy.
JRPG,
Yeah.
but it's just it. Yeah, it's the least JRPG I've ever played.
Yeah, it's got very like cozy game elements. I feel that.
Yeah, so yeah, I think they're going to talk about Pokopia. They'll
Yep.
obviously do Pokemon Unite and all that kind of thing. But are there any new games you think they'll announce, or like remasters or remakes or anything like that?
And this is going to be so hypocritical for what I said earlier. I would love to
Hmm.
see like the Gen 1 games make it to the like emulators or whatever or put on the eShop, right? I mean, I think that would be great. But
Well, I mean, you're getting that.
but
I
we're
mean,
getting but we're getting Fire Red and Leaf Green, which is still cool. Don't get me wrong. They announced
so
that a bit
yeah,
early, but
I genuinely think so because I'm so pessimistic. I'm so pessimistic about Pokemon Day because it's been so meh,
Mhm.
right? I think people are going to go into this, including me,
Yeah.
going to go into it incredibly hyped to see what are we going to see for 30 years. And I guarantee you, the only things that happen, this is just me being pessimistic and giving my genuine prediction as to how this
Yeah.
Pokemon Day is going to go. They're going to do the mobile games. They're going to do the trading cards. They're going to do the side games like Pokemon Unite
Yep.
and things like that. They're going to show Pokemon Pokopia.
Yep.
And then the only new things that we will see will be the Fire Red Leaf Green announcement, even though everybody already knows.
Yep.
And they're going to, at the very last thing, for like the last 2 minutes, they're going to do a teaser for Gen 10.
I agree with all of that. I think the only thing that we might see like outside of that is maybe like news on like the anime or like a new movie or something like
Yeah,
that.
there'll be something like that.
But
There'll be those sort of things. But like the only new thing will be the Fire Red Leaf Green thing and
yeah.
Gen 10. And I think they think that just re-releasing a remake of Gen 1 is enough for 30 years.
Oddly enough, man, if they would have done like a Gen 1 collection game or something like that where it would have been like blue,
Right.
red, yellow or a translated version of green for the first time, right? So we had
Right.
access. Honestly, that would have made me hype. Like if I would
Right.
have gotten to play like the original copy of Pokemon Green but translated, that would be cool.
As as two guys who have just said we hate the fact that they're re-releasing Fire Red Leaf Green
Yeah.
for $20 each, right? How quickly would you have run to GameStop or whatever if they announce that they're doing two separate ones if they want to do it, but Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue 30th anniversary collector's editions,
Yeah.
right? Where it's Switch 2 cartridge, Switch 1
Mhm.
cartridge or whatever, but in the style of
Yeah.
Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. It comes with a figure of the three starters. It comes with like a remake of the original game guide,
Yep.
right? And all that kind of thing. It's like a proper collector's edition, sort of like 30th anniversary of Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. How quickly would you have run to the shop?
And I said this earlier. I was like, it's gross how much they prey on nostalgia because I would have bought that.
I
I would
would
have bought it.
sprint it.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
have bought it, dude. And that it sucks because I know myself. You know what I mean? And people are
yeah,
always like, hey, when you really want to hit a company where it hurts, man, like protest with your wallet.
yeah,
And we just said like, oh, it's so gross that they're doing
yeah.
this much money. But if they would have done that, dude, I'm a hypocrite. I'm gonna say it. Like I would have went and bought it.
I would have bought that in an instant.
Hmm?
In an instant. I would have probably bought both.
Oh,
Like,
same.
in an
Oh,
instant.
I would have.
Yeah.
But here's the thing:
Yeah.
we're not getting a physical copy. It is an eShop
Ooh.
download that is twenty
Yeah.
dollars a piece for a game that came out
Hmm.
22 years ago, and
Yeah.
21 and some change. But you know what I mean? Like that to me just feels. It just doesn't feel right. And like I said, for anybody out there who it's worth it for you, if you never had that experience, we're not trying to be elitists or anything like that, or be
Nope.
like
No,
pretentious
no.
or
Love the
condescending.
games you love.
Yeah,
Love the
100%.
games that
Go
you
do that.
love.
But for us, like at our, as people who have played it, who have emulated it, who have had physical copies, who have, it's been a part of, our lives and stuff for this
Yeah.
long. And knowing that it is just that remake and remaster and it's just a
Hmm.
digital copy at that price point just doesn't sit well.
Yeah. And like, I'm the Pokemon fan is in me is hoping I'm wrong.
Oh yeah.
The Pokemon fan in me is hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping that we come to film the next podcast episode
Yeah.
next week, and I go, well, I need to eat my own hat because boy, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I have to agree, and like I want to be optimistic, I really do, but we've
Hmm.
seen a pattern with these Pokemon days and these Pokemon
Yeah.
Directs and stuff like that. Like there's a pattern there, and when you
Hmm.
recognize a pattern, you kind of come to know what to expect. And honestly,
Yeah.
I agree pretty much with everything you've said that like that is probably going to be the lineup.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you think's different before we move on to our last little thing?
I really
Is there
don't
anything you
think
think's going to be
so.
different?
I mean, I can't think of
No.
anything else that they would announce or release, especially at this time. I think Gen 10 is going to be the big cherry on top.
Yeah, I think Gen 10. I think they're going to finish it off with Gen 10. They're going to do a teaser trailer for Gen 10 and they're going to do something like releasing in November this year or something like that.
Unless they're doing some other sort of spin-off game again, like another
Maybe.
like what is it?
People have been begging for
Mi-
Ranger.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Ranger or Mystery Dungeon. Like
Well,
or
they did Mystery Dungeon already. They did a remake
no, I
from
was just
of
saying if
Mystery
unless
Dungeon
there's like
already.
another one of those coming, like I can't think of
Yeah,
anything else. I mean,
I
yo,
mean
I would love a Pokemon Conquest 2, but it's probably not gonna
a
happen.
new Coliseum would be cool. Something like
Dude,
that would
dude,
be cool.
announcing Coliseum coming to the GameCube thing, like or like
It was
XD Gale of
huge. Everybody
Darkness or
loved it.
whatever, like
Yeah. Which, by the way, so they can put some of them on the emulator then.
they can do it.
Right. So, unless you have anything to add, shall we go to a couple of questions we've had
Yeah,
from
let's
Relevancy
go ahead.
Privilege?
I mean, we
Okay.
accidentally
You so
left out one last time, because we
yeah. So
ran
you have
too long.
you yeah. So you have one and I have one. So
Yeah.
do you want to do yours
Yeah,
first?
since we had this one prior because we ran too
Hmm.
long and it was supposed to tie into our conversation about state
Yeah.
of play, but it was just there was too much.
It's
What
just
has
too much.
PlayStation meant to you, and like how did you get into it, and like how did it like impact you as a gamer, and like how what over the
Oh,
years, like
okay.
how has it stuck with you?
Who'd this come from?
Dr. Fresh.
Dr. Fresh. Oh, hey, Fresh. Okay. So what does PlayStation mean to me?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like what's your
okay.
history with it and what's it meant to you?
So I'm guessing this was for the state of play, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was supposed to
Yeah,
tie
yeah, yeah.
into it, but we went way too far into the state of play.
I mean, we're almost there now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love how we started doing this podcast. Going, we'll do them for about an hour, and this is the third episode in a row where I'm looking, going, that's saying an hour and a half. Anyway, PlayStation. So my first ever console that I played
Yeah.
was Sega, but it was my dad's Sega. The first ever console that I owned was, I don't remember because I was tiny. It was either Game Boy or PS1.
Love that.
The original PlayStation or the original Game Boy. I don't know which one I got first,
Mm.
but that means that either the first game that I owned was Pokemon Red or Crash Bandicoot. One or the other was the first game I ever owned.
Both of those are great.
Both phenomenal. It took me until I was an adult to beat Crash Bandicoot because
Mm.
it's hard as hell. But like I made it as far as I seem to remember making it as far as Pinstripe as a kid,
Okay.
and then just checking out.
Right.
But yeah, so PlayStation was there basically since well, whatever year Crash Bandicoot came out. I think it was '96.
Probably around there.
Was when I got into PlayStation. So I would have been if it's '96, I was six. I was born in '90. It's really
Yep,
easy to figure out.
96.
Yeah.
September
Okay. So
9th.
I was September 9th. Okay. So
Oh,
I
well, for you,
was
it
I
was
was
November 8th. My bad, because Europe release date.
well, I got it for Christmas, so it would have been Christmas. But yeah, it was I would have been six. So I got it when I was six. I adored the PlayStation.
Hmm.
I loved it. When I got into recollecting physical media, PS1 was the first thing I did.
I love that.
I've got about 100 odd PS1 games now because I made a point of like collecting the things that I wasn't allowed to play as a kid
Yes, dude.
and
I
things like
love
that.
that.
Right, my parents had a very strict thing of whatever age it says on that game is the
Yeah.
age you need to be, which good
Yeah,
parenting,
no,
but
that's fair.
sucked for me. There are a few exceptions, like Hogs of War. I
Right.
think probably wasn't PG, but I loved it. I absolutely adored PlayStation as a kid. PS2, I loved the PS2.
Same.
But then I hit the teenage years just as that lovely Xbox came out with Halo, you know.
Yep.
So I was a PlayStation boy through and through, all the way until one summer I went to visit my dad's first brother. My dad has like four brothers, but
Right.
like he's the oldest, the one down. Went to visit them, and he had an Xbox. Never seen an Xbox before in my life,
Yeah.
and he had Halo, and I played. I think I had to keep getting told to get off of that console because of how much I was playing it.
Dude,
To
Halo
the
was
point,
like, oh, it's so good.
to the point where we were going like a trip to like the beach or something with my family on that same trip,
Yeah.
and my dad was like, "Oh, I'll take Matt with me in the car because we had to divvy up people into cars and everything." And he literally turned off into a supermarket on the way to the beach, and he bought me an Xbox
Oh, that's awesome.
because of how much I wanted it. From that moment, PlayStation disappeared.
Yeah.
Right, PlayStation disappeared, and it didn't come back until the PS4.
That's fair.
So I came back with the PS4. Mainly though because I couldn't decide between the PS4 and the Xbox One,
Yeah.
and I lived in Asia at the time, and the person who was in charge at that time, it may have been Phil Spencer, who was in charge at the time, basically made a big oopsie by saying they weren't really going to bother with Asia because they know that PlayStation's going to win there,
Yeah.
right? Which is true, but
Yeah.
it's kind of shooting yourself in the foot when you're about to release a console,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so there was a lot of like rumors and lies and stuff like that going around that Xbox just wasn't going to release in Asia, and I lived in Asia at the time, so I was like, oh, well, sod it, I'll go back to PlayStation. So I got PS4, but then I didn't get PS5 until beginning of this year,
Yeah.
beginning of last year, sorry, beginning of last year. So I mean, I as a kid I adored PlayStation.
Yeah.
As an adult, it's okay.
No, I
It's
feel you on
okay.
that. I'm kind of similar in a sense, actually. Very, very similar if I think about it. Because so,
Mm-hmm.
funny enough, like we had a PlayStation in the house because I've said this before. My dad's like a
Mm-hmm.
really big like gamer and stuff. So like like I never didn't have some sort of new console or whatever or access to one. It's probably one of the
Yeah.
better things like about growing up with my dad. But I would end up getting like hand-me-downs from him whenever a new console would come out or something like that.
Oh,
So that
nice,
was kind of cool.
nice. Yeah, yeah.
But I ended up getting my own PlayStation. It was like a used one or whatever that he got me. The problem
Mm.
was I had gotten in trouble at school the day he had bought it because I was a little like hellion, and I was always like doing something dumb. So I got it, and so I came home, and he came home excited to give me this PlayStation, and I had to
But you're in
explain to
trouble.
him that I got in trouble. I could see the like moral dilemma where he's like, "I'm so excited to
Yeah,
give this to you, but I can't reward bad behavior." So it was such a weird
yeah.
thing, but I did end up getting it. And I I remember playing a lot of Soul Blade at the time, which was the
Okay.
first Soul Calibur. I played a
Mm,
lot of
wow.
that. And
God, we're older than Soul Calibur.
yeah.
Oh, dude, you didn't need to do that to me.
Yeah, Soul Blade came out in 96.
Oh, I thought it was one of those really old games.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is really old, but we're really older.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I played a lot of that. And I played a lot of like Digimon World, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was very into like the PlayStation. Final Fantasy VIII was like my first Final Fantasy. And I played a lot
Interesting.
of Mortal Kombat Trilogy. And what ended up
Uh-huh.
happening was I just, the PS2 ended up coming out, ended up obviously transferring to that when that like eventually
Yep.
when I eventually got one.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved the PS2 as well. Like, I mean,
Oh yeah.
it was
It's
an
a phenomenal
amazing,
console.
yeah, the backwards compatibility, being able to watch
Mm-hmm.
DVDs and listen to
Yeah.
CDs, and like, it hit me at that age where like that was really important to me. And I actually ended up getting this thing, and I don't know if anyone knows what this is, but it was called a swap magic. And the swap magic was actually a way to bypass region coding. So basically,
Okay.
you would put the disc in the console, and then the console would boot up into its software, and you'd get something called a slide tool. And it was like this weird little plastic thing that you would slide underneath the disc tray, and then you would move it over, and it would unlock the disc tray. So you'd pull it out, and then you would swap it for a game that was either burned or region coded. Haha. And then
Okay.
you'd put the disc tray back and then lock it again. And because you had unlocked it and moved it, it didn't realize that you had opened it. And then you would press the button and it would just boot into that game, entirely bypassing the region coding and everything. So I spent quite a bit of time like burning games and stuff like that. And a friend of mine did it so much that he actually like destroyed the laser on his PS2.
Wow.
And once I found out he did that, I was like really apprehensive about using it anymore. But I,
Right.
I, I did. I loved my PS2. I was playing Japanese Naruto games on it and stuff.
I actually just had to fact check something before you
Yeah,
continue your thing. I just had to fact check something to make sure I was right
yeah,
first. So, PlayStation has been so monumentally important for the home media, for like playing
yeah.
DVDs, right? So, I knew this about PS4. I wanted to check if it was the same with PS2. Those of you who are old enough to remember, there was DVDs used to have competition, right? Do you remember what the competition was for DVDs? So like there was VHS, which was the tapes, and then like there was like, oh, what's going to be the next step up? And it was between DVD and something. Do you remember what the other thing
Was it
was?
Laserdisc?
I think it was just HD DVD. I think it was just called HD DVD.
Well, I know that they had HD DVDs before Blu-ray came out. It was like the thing that like was in between Blu-ray and
Yeah,
DVD.
their competition was HD DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, no. So DVDs replaced VHS. Blu-ray was in competition with HD DVD.
Yes.
Yeah. So apparently, the major reason why DVDs soared in success and sort of killed off VHS tapes was the PS2.
That makes sense
Because
to me.
the PS2 was for the longest time the best-selling console of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it only recently got dethroned. So it did that for DVDs, and then the reason why Blu-ray defeated HD DVDs in terms of what's going to be the thing after DVDs was because Sony sold their consoles at a loss in order to make sure that Blu-ray run won,
That makes
because
sense.
Sony also owned Blu-ray.
Yep.
And so what they did was they made sure, I think was it the PS3? I think it
The
was the
PS3 was the
PS3.
first Blu-ray player, yeah.
Yeah. So they made sure that the PS3 had a Blu-ray player inside of it. Every single PS3 had a Blu-ray player,
Hmm.
even though the amount that they were selling the console for would net them a loss based on the sheer expense of putting a Blu-ray player
Yes.
inside, because they knew that it would force people to buy Blu-ray instead of HD DVD.
Another crazy thing is the Xbox 360 actually had a peripheral that was an HD DVD player that you could hook up to your 360 and you could play
Wow.
HD DVDs
So
in.
it, wow. So the gaming and home media worlds were both sort of colliding with each
Yep.
other there. Wow, that's interesting. Because
Yeah.
I would argue the 360 beat the PS3, didn't it?
Um, 360 versus PS3, I think. Let's see,
Or
PS3 in
was
sales.
360 for PS2?
No,
Was it
Xbox was for
360 versus
PS2.
PS?
360
Oh
PS3,
yeah.
Xbox One, PS4.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know.
or
Maybe
Xbox
it's
One,
nostalgia
PS3.
goggles, but I thought 360 outsold the PS3, but I'm probably wrong. But yeah. Anyway, just a little fun fact.
Um,
Continue your thing. Or...
PlayStation 3 had and Xbox 360 had a close sales race during the seventh generation. The PS3 ultimately edged it out
Oh,
in
okay.
total lifetime sales, but it was not by much. 87.4 million in the PS3 to 84 million to the 360.
Oh, that's so
It was
close.
very, very close.
That's so close. Okay, but yeah. So PS2. Well,
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, no, I know
yeah.
we went off on a tangent. But yeah,
No,
PS2
no,
was
it's
great.
my fault.
No, you're good. PS2 was fantastic. I didn't get a PS3 actually. My dad had one and I played his, but I didn't get one. For me, I swapped over to 360, and played the ever loving shit out of it. Honestly, dude,
Yeah.
I was on like Gears of War. I was on like Halo 3. I was on like,
Oh yeah.
everything, dude. I loved my
Yeah.
360, and I loved how I could like put a CD in it and rip the songs to the console, and while I was playing a game I
Yeah.
could listen to my music or whatever. It was fantastic. So
Mm-hmm.
360 was amazing. And then when it came down to Xbox One versus PS4, I was at the point where I was moving out of my parents' house and everything, and I was like,
Mm,
okay, like Xbox One was boasting being the one, piece of hardware you would need for your entertainment center because it could,
right.
do everything essentially. It could run your cable box, it could be a DVD player and all this other stuff. And I was like, okay. So I got the Xbox
Sure.
One and I liked it. It was cool. I didn't really have any issues with it. I think eventually I did end up getting a PS4 several years later.
Yeah. I don't regret getting the PS4. It was a great
No,
console.
no, no, no. Honestly, I think I started with Xbox more. I think I switched to playing PS4 more towards the end
Yeah.
because I was playing a lot of fighting games, and the big fighting game
Mm,
community was like that was the console you played on.
yeah.
360
Fair.
was what it was for fighting games before, and then it was that. So being a big fighting game player, I transitioned to PS4. But
Makes
I'm
sense.
I'm back to the Xbox Series X right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Same.
And I'm playing that. I have a PS5. I can't tell you the last time I booted up to play it. Honestly, it has become a Yakuza machine for my wife. She
And so
plays
I
Yakuza
mean,
on it.
yeah,
That's it.
great series. But yeah, I've been playing the PS5 while I've been waiting for my Xbox to be fixed. Sole reason.
Dude, that's so
Sole reason.
crazy. Like as soon as the
It's
Xbox
so
comes back,
bad.
it's like I don't want to play with you anymore.
I pick it up tomorrow. It's fixed. I'm picking it up
I'm
tomorrow.
excited
So
for
like,
you, honestly.
yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having it back. But
Yeah.
it's so sad that I'm so enjoying my Series X that the PS5 is a placeholder for me. Because
It
the PS5,
sucks.
there's nothing wrong with the PS5. It's
No,
a good
not at all.
console. It's a good console,
Yeah.
man. But like, yeah, that's just where I am at the moment. Who knows with PS6 and Xbox 720?
Yeah. Nothing
I may
drives me to play my PS5 at the moment, and that's all it is. And
no,
and there are good games on it, but I can either get them on Steam or Xbox at this point.
yeah,
So I just don't really have a reason. I will say though, and I don't think either of us touched on this, but I think we both had them. The PSP and the Vita are still goated, and they're
they're
still
phenomenal.
amazing, and I still love them. I did
Yeah,
have both of those. I played my PSP so much. I had the first generation one. One day I had it on like my bed and
yeah.
it fell off my bed and the screen stopped working. I don't know why. It
Oh,
didn't fall hard. It just but I had had it for
oh
years at
no.
that point. And then I
See,
bought
we.
a PSP Go.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And a sliding screen with the controls underneath it.
Oh, right. Yeah,
And
yeah, 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 yeah.
that I still have that. So,
We've mentioned the PS Vita so many times
yep.
that I'm so close to pulling out of storage just to charge it up and play
Dude,
it.
I
Right.
actually charged mine a couple weeks ago. I did. I wanted to play.
I don't blame you.
I had a bunch of games downloaded to it,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them were some classic Resident Evil games, and I wanted to play one of them, and so I was thinking about. I charged up my Vita, dude. It scared me at first because when I stuck the charger in, I don't know if you guys know this, but
Didn't charge.
if you have a Vita and you plug it in, it might not charge for a second because the battery is so dead. Uh,
Thank God you told me.
I was like, oh no, and then eventually it started having a red light, but the red light started blinking, and I was like, oh, I don't remember if this is
Wow.
what it's supposed to look like when it's charging. I was so scared. It works fine though.
Thank God you told me.
Yeah, it
Thank
works
God
fine.
you told me. Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay, cool.
yeah, I love my Vita, and I'm so I really was hoping it was going to do better in Western markets, but its library
Yeah,
here was just unlike what they had in
yeah.
Japan. So
Oh, there you go. It was a little late, but there's your question answered,
Yes,
Fresh.
yes. We had one more question though, right?
We do have one more. We're clearly this is clearly going to be the longest episode, but hey, who cares?
Sorry.
Um, who cares? Who cares? They're not. We don't get charged per minute to put this up
That's fair. That's
on the
fair.
streaming sites. It's fine. Okay. So this is from Stephen Green,
Okay.
on the YouTube comments.
Thank you, Steven.
So, thank you, Stephen. We've talked about Souls likes a few times,
Yeah.
and how we're not big fans of the Souls games, but
Yes.
there's some Souls likes that we like.
Yeah.
So the question is, how do you feel about the Souls-like games? For me, as soon as I see Souls-like, I'm out.
Okay.
Maybe because I'm older and I don't have time to play as much. But like Jedi Fallen Order, it takes forever for me to learn the mechanics again.
Okay.
So that's the question. So what do you think? How do you feel about Souls-likes? And I suppose, like, do you feel like maybe age has something to do with it?
Yeah, actually, I actually love this question. I
Hmm.
think that like you can at any age develop a skill if you put enough time into it, right?
Oh,
But I
for
do
sure.
feel like
Yeah,
your
yeah,
reaction times and your skill building is much better when you're
yeah. Hmm.
younger. And so I will say that
Yeah,
I think Souls likes is more of a young person genre to get to say. You know what I mean? It's not to say that people who are older can't get into them and can't play them, but I think the appeal is
yeah,
more so for younger players. I think the pride in being like, oh well, I just beat this really hard game, the ability to brag about
yeah,
it, the very quick reactions to that sort of stuff. I think it's more for a younger audience, but. I know older
yeah,
people who play them or people my age or whatever
yeah.
who still enjoy them, but I think the appeal is more for them. And to now that being said, I am also of the mind that when I see Souls like I kind of roll my eyes. Because
Right.
two reasons. The first reason is why is everything a Souls like now? And the second reason is I feel like the term's kind of been bastardized a little bit. I feel like
A little
every
bit.
action adventure game is now just a Souls like because it has parrying or
Interesting.
dodging or whatever in it.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
So what would you say? What would you say legitimizes something as being a Souls like?
Unfairness. No, I'm just kidding.
A you
Legitimate.
died scream.
Yeah. No, I think it has to adhere to like some key principles of Souls like, right? Like
Okay.
the when you die, you have to go and like recollect your stuff or whatever, and if you die again, you lose
Yeah.
that permanently. A
Yeah.
very high difficulty level. The parrying and invincibility frames and the dodging, I think, are another like hallmark of the series. But honestly,
Yeah. They're not exclusive, but
right,
yeah.
the basically the knowledge that when you play this you're gonna die. You know what I mean? Like it's inevitable and and
Yeah.
and honestly, and a lot of it is going to not be your fault. Like
Yeah, I think if it's a game where, like you say, like you're going to die a lot,
mhm,
and the whole point is to pattern recognition,
yeah.
right? So like that's essentially Dark Souls and Elden Ring and Bloodborne, they come down to pattern recognition,
Yeah, I
right?
would agree.
So like this enemy does this kind of attack. If I see them doing like this, they're going to do this attack.
Yeah.
You learn the patterns, you learn the rhythm. I saw a video once that basically explained Souls games as being a rhythm game, and I
That's fair.
can see it.
That's fair.
I can see it. Especially when it's a boss fight and you've got music, and the music tends to go to the beat of their attack
Mm.
speed, which is very cool. So there's a lot of good stuff about Souls games.
Yeah.
For me, and I have dabbled with Souls games a few times,
Hmm.
but I've never finished one. But not because I find them too hard. I can play them. I can absolutely play them.
I've
But
seen you
like
play them. You played Dark Souls on
yeah,
stream. Yeah.
yeah, I made it relatively far. I'd
Yeah.
say from what people told me, I made it about 60-70% of the way through the game.
Which is pretty good.
For me, they're everything I don't want in a game. Not
Yeah.
that I don't like in a game, because the games are good. I accept that the games are good, and if you like that kind of game, great. For me, they're not what I want. What I want is I want a narrative-driven story. Souls games are as far away from narrative-driven as you can
Yeah,
possibly
you
get,
have to like
right?
seek out the lore.
One of my friends tried to sell me Souls games, saying, "No, no, they do have story. You've just got to read the item descriptions." I was like, "That's not story. That's lore. It's different."
It's very different. It is very different. I'll stand with you
That's
on that one. I'll stand with you on
that's
that one.
lore. That's not story.
Yeah.
Story is you're following a very clearly shown story. It's not like there are story elements. Every game technically has story to it. Like
Yeah.
Dark Souls does have a story, but like it's so vague and so unclear.
Yeah, lore
Um,
and like progressing narrative are different.
yeah, yeah. Lore and progressive narrative are different.
Yeah.
You defeating X boss and triggering next part of the game is not story.
No.
That's just progression,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. Progression is not equivalent to story.
Yeah. So like the moment in Dark Souls, like where you defeat the gargoyle, you ring the bell, and then you go and then you go down into the depths and you into Blight Town and you ring the other bell.
Yeah.
See, I have played the bloody game.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Like you know, and then through doing that, you unlock the ability to progress, and then
Yeah.
you then get grabbed by the gargoyles and taken to New Lando or wherever it is. Like that's yes, that's sure it's story, but it's progression,
Yeah.
right? It's progression. You do A to get to B to get to C to get to D, right? And
It's a
there's
golf
cutscenes.
course. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a golf PGA tour. But yeah, so like that's not what I'm after. What I'm after is like a narrative, a story to
Mhm.
take me. I want to be taken on a journey, basically, right
Yeah.
through like a story. And there's a lot of games that tick that box for me. Souls games don't tend to tick it. That being said, there are some Souls likes that I have fallen in love with because they have a story.
Okay.
So like the Star Wars Jedi games,
Yes.
they they take a lot of elements from Souls games.
Mm.
The bosses will rip you a new one. The bosses have different phases. You lose progress. You have to go back and forth and that kind of
Right.
thing. Like it's very Souls like, right? But the thing that carries it for me is the story. The story is beautifully written. Kenna Bridge of Spirituals, I was very hyped to see there's a second game coming out on it. Like it's not a Souls like in the sense that it's going to rip you a new one, but it takes a lot of the elements of a Souls game,
Right.
right? It's beautiful storytelling. I don't know. Even when you go a little bit harder into the Souls games, I liked Tunic. Tunic is definitely a Souls like.
Right.
I loved it. I thought it was great. It's like baby's first Souls like is what I've
Yeah.
described it as. It's great. So there are some that I like, but I agree that the moment I hear or see Souls like, my eyes roll.
Oh yeah. No, I
Like
agree
I'm
with you
there
on
like,
that.
oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
And I think Souls likes are so popular at the minute.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many of them. But for somebody who doesn't like the genre,
Yeah.
it does get a little bit like, oh, another one.
Yeah. No, I feel like it's becoming. I feel like it used to be an exceptional thing. Like
Yeah,
and that's what made it special, and now I feel like it's not
yeah,
special anymore. It's not exceptional. It's
mhm,
starting to become run of the mill, which is fine.
yeah.
That's how genres work, right? Somebody introduces
Of
it and
course.
it grows. But for me, like you said, it's just not what I want in a game because I heard somebody say this once. I can't remember where. Like, forgive me. I would love to give them credit. Actually, I think it might have been what is it, Aaron Hansen or something like that, the dude who Ego
Okay.
Raptor or whatever. He was one of the dudes from Game Grumps. He
Right.
he was like, it's not basically it gives the illusion of difficulty because it tests your patience, and that's what makes it
Yes.
difficult. Is it takes longer, like you have to be
Hmm.
patient, you have to, like, you can't just press buttons, everything
Yeah.
is meticulous, and so it's not difficult, it is the illusion of difficulty because time is precious to you.
I would agree with that because I've played a lot of Souls likes.
Mm,
I've finished some, but I've definitely put down more.
yeah.
And I'd say the majority of the time that I put them down is when it becomes painfully obvious to me that the game isn't getting harder, they're just creating more obstacles,
Yeah, it's just taking
right?
more time.
So like the classic thing that has made me put the controller down and going, I'm DNFing this, I
Yeah.
don't want to play this anymore, is when I've gotten used to the way the combat works, I've gotten used to how it goes and everything, and then their idea of making it harder is to just put more enemies in the room.
Yeah.
And I hate it because it's deliberately what they've done is they've gone, we're going to make it relatively unreasonable for you to be able to survive these guys,
Yes.
right? Even unless you're the hottest shit to ever hot shit Dark
Right.
Souls, right? You're going to struggle not because of a lack of skill, but because sheer force of numbers.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I hate that. It's padding. That's padding in my
I,
eyes.
I agree. I can agree with the idea that it's padding, or I can see that perspective, like that it's just like,
Yeah.
hey, we've made this more difficult, not because like the enemies are tougher, but just because more of them exist, and it's just going to take
More of them
longer
exist.
for
Yeah.
you to get through them and things of that nature. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind when games do a thing of like, oh screw you because we're gonna have this guy hiding around the corner who's gonna shank you the moment you turn around. Fine,
Oh
fine,
man.
right? That's a fun little thing of like, oh you got me game
Right.
kind of thing, But like when they go like, oh hang on, you're getting quite far through this game. Let's just instead of being the usual 5 to 6 guys in this room, that would be fair.
Yeah.
We're gonna put 12 in here.
Yeah.
That's when I don't like it. That's when I start putting the controller down.
That's fair.
And I feel like a lot of Souls likes lean on that
Hmm.
because of the lack of a narrative, right?
Yeah, I mean that's fair, and like once again, we've said this before, like all our opinions, no shade to anybody who enjoys it, that sort of stuff. I,
Yeah,
I,
it's
I
purely
don't need
subjective.
to keep making this disclaimer. You know what I mean? Eventually, you
No,
guys will get it. But I think
yeah,
the idea is like for me, I like you said, like even if I have to go out and find the narrative, like in older games, right? Like
yeah,
Resident
of
Evil.
course.
I love Resident Evil, and as I'm playing it, I
Yeah,
have to pick up notes and stuff like that and read like what's happening, and
yeah,
those
yeah.
to me feel like little collectibles and stuff. I like that sort of thing, but.
I can play games that don't have a narrative. I played Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that as a
That is
kid. I can
fair.
play games that don't. Crash Bandicoot, the only narrative is at the beginning when you break out of the lab and you have to go rescue your girlfriend. That's
Right.
it, right? Like I can play them.
Yeah.
I just prefer when they have a narrative.
But
You know?
another thing with games that have a narrative is any time that your narrative is taking control away from the player, like
Yeah,
then
it's a
you
balance.
you have to have a balance. Like, and I think that's important. Like
Yeah,
when games give you the
yeah.
illusion of gameplay by they're gonna walk through the woods and clear branches while dialogue happens. You just hold the left stick up to keep them moving forward. I don't
I
like
will
that.
say, and this is again, this is why we're constantly giving the disclaimer of this is subjective. This is our opinion.
Yeah.
It's not fact, right? You can like a game that we dislike, perfectly
Oh, of
acceptable,
course. Yeah.
right? I would much rather play a Souls-like than play a game that's not a game. It's you're being told a story,
Yep.
and every now and again it goes, "Oh shit, we're a game. Press A."
Yep.
Right? Those kinds of games. I hate
Now,
those
now
games.
I
They
haven't
tend to
played
be the very
Hellblade.
heavies.
I haven't played
Yeah.
Hellblade, but is that like where does it like fall in this?
I would say Hellblade for me hits
Yes.
the sweet spot.
Okay, good.
I say it hits the sweet spot. So a lot of people have called the Hellblade games a walking simulator because it is a railroad,
Mm,
right? You are on tracks, you are not diverting from those tracks, right?
I don't mind that.
There's very, very, very little going off to the side, right? And the only things really to do outside of the main story is collect little pieces of lore. You collect these rune stones that give you pieces of lore, right? That's it. That's basically it.
Okay.
Other than that, you're on rails and you're going through the story. And so a lot of people do call it a walking
That's
simulator.
fine.
For me, it hits the sweet spot because one, the story is phenomenal,
Yeah.
and two, there's enough of me doing things for it not to be bad, right? Because
Right.
there's a lot of combat. There's a lot of combat, right? There's a lot of combat. There's a fair amount of exploration when you're looking for the thing to unlock the thing and to do stuff like that, right?
Right.
So I'd say there's enough. I'd say the second game is definitely more on the iffy side than the first game, but I think they're the sweet spot
That's
for me.
good.
I think I think if you want to enjoy a good narrative and you don't want to have to you don't have to explore a gigantic map to find the next checkpoint, then the Hellblade games are great. Games that I've not liked because of they're just reading, or oh God, it's so much worse when it's reading and it's not voice acted. Like there's some games that I played a game called Paradise Marsh,
Okay.
which it was kind of preachy, but it was at least I was playing the game,
Right.
you know. Um, but it was still a game I didn't really enjoy. But then there's other games like I know they're beloved, but I didn't like Coffee Talk.
Ah,
I did not like
that's not
Coffee
a game,
Talk.
dude.
It's not a game. It's not a game. That is an interactive story,
Yeah.
right? That's an interactive story. It's not a game because the sheer amount of dialogue that I was reading through,
Yeah.
and then every now and again they go, "Oh shit, this is meant to be a coffee shop game. Quick, make a coffee." I'm like, ah, yeah,
Yeah, it's not a game.
okay. It To me, that's not a game.
Right.
It's an interactive story.
I think that's a fine distinction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with them,
No,
but
but call a
that's not
spade a
what I play
spade,
games
dude.
for.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's not what I play games for.
right, right. No, that
Yeah,
makes sense. But no, thank you, Steven. You said, right?
yeah,
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 thank you for the
Steven. Yeah,
question,
yeah,
man. Honestly, hopefully, the
yeah.
long-winded answer was enough. We both kind of went in.
We're both kind of not fans of them. There you go.
Not really. No.
Not really, not really. Nothing wrong with them. We're just not for
Yeah,
us.
definitely not for me, man. Like I said, like it's the time sink thing, I think. The time to
Yeah,
develop that skill, the time to, get through it, the time to, all that stuff. And it's like if I want to play a game, I just want to be able to sit down and play.
I think that's the thing. It's the amount of effort it takes to get good at it.
Yeah, which is
You
weird
know.
because I love fighting games, but like I think I
Hmm.
had more of an aptitude for them and I spent so much time playing them growing up that they come easier to me
Yeah,
now. I don't have that same amount of time to develop that new skill.
yeah.
So,
That's fair. Yeah, I think because we're both hard workers, both parents,
yeah.
both like got partners and everything. Like the time's not there. The time isn't there anymore.
It's
You
not.
know.
I'll still play
So
games,
unless
don't get me wrong, but like when I play a game, I
still play
don't want to
games.
have to like I don't want there to have to be such a
Hmm.
hurdle for me to get into it.
I'm inevitably going to go play a game. I'm probably going to play Arcade Paradise on the Switch as soon as this is done. Um, but I don't have the tens and tens and tens and tens of hours it'll take for me to get good enough to get past that one section in Dark
Well,
Souls.
there's also the idea that like when you're playing games to unwind, like when you're trying to like skill build and all this other stuff, it's not exactly a relaxing experience. So
No,
it's
no.
yeah, I just prefer something that I know I can immerse myself in, have a good time with, and yeah. So I think that for me they're not it. But yeah, for everyone who enjoys them, bro, have at it.
Yeah, hell, you do you. You do
Hmm.
you. Like I've said, they're good games. They're just not for me.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Well, shoot, we are
Yeah,
approaching 2 hours, so I mean, I think next
we are.
week we'll cover Pokemon Day. Um,
Yeah, we'll either talk about it a lot if a lot of stuff happens or nothing.
yeah, we might just be like, you know what, it's not worth talking about it. Moving on. Like,
It's not worth it.
we'll see what happens, but I'm cautiously optimistic, but I also feel
Yeah.
like I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see. But thank you, as always, if you're watching this on YouTube for liking and subscribing and all that good stuff. If this has been posted elsewhere, because we are working on posting this in other places and you've been listening, fantastic. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah, we appreciate it a
And
lot.
yeah, yeah, we do. Yeah, we
We'll see
do.
you
And
guys
hey,
next week.
yeah. Bye.
Bye.